ladies and gentlemen, to the Speak On the podcast. I am your host, Big Mike. The busy week in sports. We are here to recap it. This is going to be a fun episode tonight. I suggest you turn your speakers down. There's going to be a lot of yelling going on tonight. A lot went on in sports. Let's get rid of a lot's going on in sports right now as we are recording this live. The Yankees are playing in the playoffs and they are up 3-2 in the eighth inning. So we will keep an eye out on that. But I can't do this alone. Got a full house tonight. Matt Producer, Podcast Poppy in the building.
The meat of the lineup. Told you 5, 6, 7, 8. Those guys for this fucking Yankee team. Giancarlo Stanton to the fucking moon.
We love it. Anthony, who's in hell right now.
Just bullshit. The game's not over though.
Once this game ends, I'm coming for Anthony's fucking jugular. I'm just going right to it. Once this game ends, I'm going right in and I'm on attack mode.
I'm sorry. Will the Yankees win the series tonight? They win the game, Dylan?
No, but you said we wouldn't win a game.
Wait. Answer the question.
I said no, but you said the Yankees wouldn't win a game in Kansas City, so you will be held accountable.
But what happens if they lose the series?
Held accountable. We're not going to lose.
We'll
held accountable.
I'm bought and paid for. But anyways, continue.
Who gives a fuck? Pay more. Pay more. Every team who has won a World Series in the last fucking 20 years has had a payroll over $215 million. Who fucking cares?
Meanwhile, your poverty franchise barely scrapes 100.
Yeah, I was about to say, fucking, you barely scraped the fucking $100 million payroll, and you guys don't make the playoffs. Suck my ass.
And we're both going to be watching the World Series from the same couch.
We'll be in the World Series.
And we also have one more today. Breezy is here with us tonight. It's going to be a fun night tonight. Or he's not here. Okay, I lied.
He's not ready. He's not ready.
I lied. So while this is going on, let's get right to it because we are going to get to baseball. So we might as well just get it out the way, knock it out. There's some news at One Jet Drive on Tuesday. There was some news. I'll set the picture for you guys at home. Pull back the curtain. Here we are Tuesday. I was very sick Monday. Woke up Tuesday, went to work, felt so much better. Like I had been like my body was feeling good. I was not in a good mood when I woke up, but it was fine. Got to work, yelled at Dylan because I had to because the Saints stink, and I had to get that. I was in a mood to. I was in a mood. There's some off-air stuff that I would talk to you about why I was in a mood. I was in a mood Tuesday for some off-air reasons, but yes, I was in a mood Tuesday, and in the midst of me and Roz having a very explosive argument, which I'm quite frankly still upset about. I was yelling at Dylan and James literally before we came on the air about it. Literally in the middle of me and Roz arguing, Dylan just dropped this nuclear bomb. Rob, this is how bad me and Roz were arguing. Dylan dropped that nuclear bomb that Robert Saleh got fired, and we didn't stop arguing.
Yeah, you glazed over it, said these things figure themselves out, Dylan, and then went back to fighting. It was one of the crazy, the one thing Roz wanted to happen, and he just didn't give a fuck. He was like, right now.
I don't know about you. I was completely blindsided by that. That
I was
came out of
too.
left.
I was blindsided as fuck.
I think the entire football world was blindsided by
And I
it.
disagree with it to this day.
I don't.
I
So
will let Dylan have it's Dylan's team. We will
Yeah,
let-
no, it's
so
Hey,
like
guys, I know I'm not the football guy, but I heard some stuff about why he was fired.
Oh, we're gonna get into the why.
we'll get to that. We'll get to the whys. But nobody saw this coming. Everybody was in shock. The players, everybody was complete and total shock by it. I don't hate it, and I understand why it was done. I think it's a mixture of reasons why. One of them, we'll get into it, because I think it's all Woody who did it. But he would, no matter what people say, people are going to blame Rodgers. Rodgers did his interview with McAfee today, and he was just like, that's just fucking nonsense. But the one thing Rodgers always has been calling for weeks was accountability, right? And the one thing I will give Rodgers a ton of credit for, which me not being a Rodgers guy, him saying, if I played better, Rob would still have a job right now. And he's correct. If he didn't play bad on Sunday morning, Saleh would still have a job.
it's a coach killer, man.
Which I still don't understand that narrative. We can get into that afterwards. But I don't understand how he's only gotten one coach fired in 2 years.
Oh man, Lily just said.
One coach got fired because he needed to get fired in fucking Mike McCarthy. But Rodgers is a coach killer for getting one guy fired. Because believe it or not, like Saleh would have gotten fired with or without Rodgers. Saleh's seat was hot anyway. So blame Rodgers all you want. Blame whoever you fuck you want. Saleh, like, I defend Saleh because I like Saleh as a coach. I like his coaching style. But the one thing Saleh did not do was hold the offense accountable. And he has not done that year after year after year. It's been 4 years of the same talk on the offensive side. Like, yeah, Zach Wilson's bad, right? There's a reason why Zach Wilson is the third string quarterback in Denver behind Jarrett Stidham. Like, he's not good. If he was good, he would be the backup and or starting in Denver. But he's not good, right? You can have that. Like, that is what it is. But his inability to hold the staff accountable is ultimately what did him in. I don't think he started to get involved in the offensive side this year. That's 3 years too late, right? The defensive coaches need to be involved somewhat. The one coach that I always refer back to, this is something Steven and I always go back to, is with Mike Zimmer when he was the head coach of Minnesota. When he was the head coach, Mike Zimmer, defensive guy. When Kirk Cousins was struggling, throwing the ball a million times, this is before Justin Jefferson got there, or right around Justin Jefferson's rookie year, when they were struggling, he would sit there on the microphone in the middle of their play calling, screaming to run the fucking ball. Screaming for Stefanski to run the fucking football and have an input. Put this guy in. Put this in. There's no reason in these short yardage instances, which I've been saying for weeks, that Saleh's not saying, hey, put Braylon Allen in the game. Hey, I know Brees is our guy, but this is why we drafted this guy, for this reason right here. You need to be able to have some type of success on the offensive side of football. You can't keep doing this bland play calling, this dog shit play calling, and everything be okay. That ultimately led to Saleh's undoing because he was not going to hold anybody accountable. When Rodgers says it, it's like, okay, maybe Rodgers being defensive, but when the defensive guys are saying the same thing in interviews after the game, there's a fucking problem. There's a pattern. And clearly something wasn't going right. So, again, I think it was a little out of left field for everybody. I was shocked by it. If Saleh wasn't going to win Coach of the Year, he was going to be fired. I think that was always what it is. If you were going to fire him now, you shouldn't have let him come into the season as the head coach. You should have fired him at the end of last season. Go and try to figure out what you want to do. Go and try to get Mike Vrabel. Go and try to get whoever the fuck you want to run your team, right? The other instance here is the Jets know they have a head coach candidate and their staff. And it's like, well, we feel comfortable firing Saleh and giving Ulbrich a shot because Ulbrich would have been hired this year if he didn't not take interviews. He would have been gone because he's a very good defensive coordinator and the players really like him. So, and he's a much different coach than Saleh. Fucking Canley. Let's go. Much different head coach than Saleh because he's not scared to get into somebody's fucking face and yell, which is exactly what this offensive staff needs. Him to come in and be like, are we going to fucking do something today or what? Because we can't keep the defense playing fucking great. We're in the same position we've been the last 2 years. Begging the offense to fucking do something. Sam Darnold played the worst game of the season so far against us. Didn't throw a single touchdown, had an interception. Not a great game for Sam Darnold. Rodgers throws 3 picks, a pick 6, and we still had a chance to win. So it's like, what are we going to do here? So ultimately, I think that Denver game put Saleh on the hot seat because after a big win against New England, you come out fucking flat. 13 penalties total, 10 on the offensive side, and you don't score a touchdown. Can't fucking do that. And then he goes into the UK. For those of you who don't know, Woody Johnson spent 4 years in the United Kingdom as the ambassador to the UK.
Yeah, I heard about that.
And I feel like the reason why Saleh was fired is because Woody was there with all his constituents and was fucking embarrassed.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the main thing that did it. And
I heard about that.
Like that Woody is doing this. Like, I don't like that Woody is like getting involved in a place where it's like I think it was early for Saleh to get fired. I understand why you do it, but like you got to give him at least one shot. I would have given him until the Patriot game. That's when I would have been like, okay, cool. For the Jets to do something they've never done, to fire a coach in the middle of the season. The last time the Jets
not even middle, 5 games.
During the season. How about that? During the season. Never fired a coach during the season. The last time the Jets had a coaching change during the season was 1976 with Lou Holtz, where he had to sit down to do so. So I don't like that Woody made a rash decision like that. Made his phone calls, did his thing. I think it was just a pure emotion play, and Woody is very much so on Twitter for the fans who are like Roz, calling for Saleh to get fired. But everybody who called for Saleh to get fired was like, whoa, they actually fired him. We didn't want that. So it's like, it's a shocker. The word came out that he was about to put Todd Downing in charge of offensive play calling, which perfect. Do something else, because when Hackett was his offensive coordinator in Green Bay with Rodgers, he didn't call plays. He did not call the plays. He was game planning and didn't call plays. So maybe we should get Hackett out of there. And then literally as he's about to go and do his thing, because he got back Monday, watched film, did his thing. Tuesday was about to start Bills prep. Hey, Rob, it's Woody. You're out of here. Like, well, I can't wait for the next 2 days. Ulbrich announces that Todd Downing is going to be off play calling, because that needs to happen. And for them, everybody to be open to Hackett like being fired or not have that job anymore is wonderful. Is absolutely wonderful. For Rodgers to come in and be on his interview with McAfee to be like, I'm open for every offensive suggestion possible. If roles need to change, roles need to change. I'm like, good. Fire Hackett or take Hackett out. Keep Hackett in a capacity that keeps Aaron from fucking bitching and moaning, but don't let him call plays. So with that being said, if you're going to bet any money this week, bet on the Jets. All head coach, when there's a head coach firing, the interim has a big boost, and the teams that have the interim head coach win like 70-something% of the time. Scene. Thank you, Robert Saleh, for your 4 years. Appreciate you. He'll be the Detroit Lions defensive coordinator next year, or back.
No, he'll get another job.
He's not
Not
going
a head coaching job, but he'll definitely get a yeah.
Because Kyle Shanahan will hire him in a heartbeat if he needs a scapegoat on defense again, like he did last year. Aaron Glenn probably going to get a head coaching job next season, so he's going to need somebody.
Anthony, you want to go?
Yeah. I mean, again, I don't agree with the firing. I mean, yeah, you can talk about accountability issues. I get that, but you look at the Jets you look at the Jets last year. They were what were you guys like 8-9, 7-10, something like that? You're not that far off from was it 7-10?
Yeah,
we're not that
first place on Monday.
That's what I'm saying. Like, but I'm not even talking about. I just want to start with last season. Y'all was 7-10, not that far removed from like a wild card contention, and this is with the putrid Zach Wilson. Like people, I don't think people realize how awful Zach Wilson is. Like, and just how he just decimated your offense. Like the dude was terrible.
It's not
was absolutely fucking terrible.
Last year.
No. The line didn't help too. Your line was ass too. Your line was ass too, but Wilson didn't help out.
They wanted to get ahead of it before it was too late. If you can make the change now, going into the easier part of your schedule, then it's like, okay, you could really like turn this around. And this is Ulbricht's audition for the job, because I don't think going into this next offseason, the Jets are not an attractive destination for a head coach, because you literally don't know what you have in the next 3 years. You know what you have right now, and you know what you have next year. You don't know what you have the following years, because Rodgers is going to retire. And then everybody else, whoever you get, like veteran-wise, like even if the Jets trade Devontae Adams, you really only have him for another year. So it's like you really only have this year, next year.
But I mean, I feel like Saleh got the short end of the stick with the Rodgers injury last year. You should have gotten some level of leniency with Rodgers going down last year.
He did.
I don't.
He didn't get fired. They didn't hold last year.
Yeah, but again, that makes it even worse though, because the man only got 5 games, and you guys are still competing for a first place seed against the also struggling Buffalo Bills on Monday night. Like, I don't understand the firing. I just don't. Like, it's so premature. You mentioned they should have evaluated Saleh again at the time of the second Patriots game. I disagree. I'm saying around week 11, if you guys are just 500 below,
that's too far in.
I don't think.
Because at that point, your team could be gone. At that point,
then at least halfway through the season, 5 games is just too short.
Halfway through the season, you're looking at the Patriot game.
Yeah, exactly. Was it week 8 or week 9, something like that?
8. So yeah, that.
Okay.
So it's like that's why I would have looked at it after this game. I would have seen the Steeler game and then the Patriot game. But then it comes back to my point. Like, are we going to keep grading him off of how we play against bad teams?
I still consider the Bills a good team. I still consider them a good team.
Steelers are there, but the Patriots. Like, I'm not going to keep... You can't keep a guy based off of how we beat the dog shit out of a bad team.
But also, you got to look at the record, too, as well,
Yeah, but it's not like, this is where it comes down to, like, your level of competition matters, right? Outside of the Niner game, we've been in every game 1 possession. Every game 1 possession or winning, right? So we're a field goal away from the beating the Broncos, and we're maybe a kick the field goal instead of go for a 4th and 2, and a pick 6 away from beating the Vikings. And now we're 4-1, completely different situation, right?
But again, I don't like the whole
is because of coaching. Underprepared.
Yeah, but again, the Denver game, bad weather conditions, and Denver's defense is playing lights out to the point where they're just absolutely just fucking teams up.
13 penalties. 10 off.
No, some of that is some very bad coaching. I would definitely give you that, but still,
all of that.
It's not, again, outside of the Niners game, you guys were pretty much some tinkering away from just really getting things up to speed. Again, the Vikings game, Robert Saleh wasn't out there throwing all those dumbass picks. That was Aaron Rodgers having a
I
bad
don't
game
blame Salah
at
for
the end
that.
of the.
I don't blame Salah for that game. I blame Salah for not lighting into Hackett on the play calling because the play calling is bad. The play calling is fucking
No, that's where he has to take fault. That's where he has to take fault. But again, still, with all that going against him, you guys were still not that far away from getting things up to speed, and still you're competing for a first place position right there. There's a reason why the report literally said Salah was going into the Jets office, getting ready to literally prepare for the Bills, had a game plan, he was optimistic. His whole mindset was, yeah, I feel good about, going into this game Monday night, and then he gets the axe. There was no inclination in his mind or anyone's mind, even the most hardcore Jet fan, that he was going to be gone this week.
No, that's what I'm saying. It was a massive shocker. But again, at the same time, Jets have the 27th ranked offense in football. They shouldn't. End all be all. They should not have the 27th ranked offense in football. They have the slowest start every drive. Every drive is slow. There's no motion. There's nothing. It's just lazy play calling. It's uncreative play calling. And we're struggling to get guys involved. And it's really all because of the way we're using these teams. We can't get the run game going because we only run from under center. We only run from under center. So every time Rodgers lines up under center, we know you're running. Wow. Every fucking time. We run, pass. We line up under center. We hand the ball off. Nothing. The one thing that the Chiefs have done since Mahomes has been in the fucking NFL is they establish the pass first. In traditional football thinking, you run to set up the pass. You run to set up the play action, do that stuff, bam, gets the ball going, gets the ball moving. You have to change the outlook on it. We want to establish the run early. Probably not going to happen because we only run the ball 3 ways. So we need to open up the game. We need to pass to establish the run. Towards the end of that Viking game, the only reason we had any success running the ball is because we were able to get completions. And the defense has to respect it. Get a couple passes in, hand the ball off. Get a couple passes in, hand the ball off. Then, once you establish that, cool. Let's start running play actions from under center so they're not expecting it. It's not a hard thing to do. There's not a least confident play caller in football than Nathaniel Hackett. None. He is the single worst play caller in football, probably behind Stefanski right now. And I don't even think Stefanski is even horrendous. I think that's just Deshaun Watson just doesn't know how to play football anymore. But it's just watching him call plays every week is fucking stupid. It's fucking stupid. I don't know how many times I texted in the chat. I was like, hey guys, run, pass. And it's run, pass.
Yeah, you do.
It's lazy play calling. Why is this what we're doing?
All of that is true. I wouldn't disagree with anything that you just said. This is a multi-layered. This is one of those things where everything can be true. As Roz will tell you over and over and over again, Salah is 20 and 36 over and over and over again.
True.
And Woody can sit here and lie to us and say it wasn't a rash decision. It was his entire
absolutely a rash
tenure, which was a lie.
Rash decision.
Because as Dylan said, if it was, then he should have been fired last year. So you're lying there. But this, much like last year, reeks of a fickle fan base and a fickle owner who got very emotional because they slayed the dragon that was the New England Patriots and thought that they could just walk on the field and they would win. And Denver punched them in. They played lazy and don't care. And we can just step out here and we'll win. And Denver punched them in the face.
And who
then they went and played. Then they went and played a really good team and got punched in the face. Like, there's no shame in losing to Minnesota. But they didn't play well. The offense did not play well.
There's
again.
no shame in losing Minnesota.
Well, but the problem with the Minnesota game is that they played Minnesota played awful offensively too. That was Minnesota's worst outing this whole year.
The fact that we were
So you gotta take
how bad we were playing still in that game with the last drive to win the game is like, hey, that's crazy. We shouldn't have been there.
But my point to all of this is still they're scapegoating. Right? No, he should not have been fired. They're scapegoating him.
Correct.
They're trying to blame him for these problems. The person that should have gotten their walking papers yesterday
Nathaniel Hackett
was Joe Douglas. That's who should have gotten. That's who should have gotten their walking. And I will tell you why.
No.
I will tell you why. Because it's Joe Douglas that bent the knee to Aaron Rodgers and undercut it.
Not true.
Woody too.
Woody's the reason Aaron Rodgers is here. Douglas wanted Carr.
How long has he been here, Dylan?
Douglas, 5 years.
That offense has been putrid for how long, Dylan?
5 years.
That great. How many whiffs has he had drafting on offense? That left tackle that y'all were screaming about. He's trash.
He is bad.
He's trash.
He's very bad.
He's trash.
The problem is
they got gift wrapped Garrett Wilson because me, you, a dog, anyone could have drafted Garrett Wilson. That's no brainer. Anyone could get that pick right. The Jets' offensive line is mid.
Correct. Well, no, that's wrong.
Your line is mid, Dylan. That line is mid.
Well, the line is better than what it is. We're dealing without Morgan Moses has a rookie at right tackle right now who never played right tackle, and a lot of the pressure being given up is on blitzes, which is not on the offensive line.
So you have no depth, is what you're telling me.
No, I'm actually saying Fashanu's playing all right at right tackle. He's not as good as Morgan Moses, but the pressures that are coming aren't on 4-man rushes; they're on blitzes. And the person who's been fucking up there is Brees.
So
Tyron Smith has had his fair share of fuck-ups, and I've held him accountable for that. But the offensive line is not as it has been great the first 3 weeks. The last 2 weeks where they've been blitzing crazy has when the offensive line has looked a little shaky, and Aaron hasn't been able to adjust to that. So I won't do that. This is the best offensive line the Jets have had since in 12 years.
Not saying much. How long have I been telling you that your wide receiver room has been trash?
The wide receiver room is not. So the wide receivers aren't trash. The problem is the team. So Rodgers plays football a certain way. You know this. The world knows this. The only person in the wide receiver room who has any type of rapport with Aaron Rodgers is Allen Lazard. What's Allen Lazard's biggest problem?
Drops.
Catching the football. So the fact that, the same thing. He drops, catch the football. We're both on the same page here. The problem being is when Allen Lazard is fucking open and he's doing exactly what Aaron Rodgers needs him to do, he kills drives, right? Mike Williams has been on a pitch count. He just got in consistently this week. When the ball's thrown to him, he's catching the ball. The problem has been him being able to connect to Garrett Wilson because they're just not on the same page. And this week, we saw them get more on the same page. So it's not a matter of the wide receiver room being bad. It's the matter of the play calling is horrid. And Lazard drops the ball.
You're doing that thing again where you're scapegoating because he's not the only reason.
No, Lazard just does drop the ball a lot.
Lazard killed 3 drives on Sunday by himself.
He drops the ball a lot.
But to say he's the reason your offense isn't good is not.
No. Aaron also
before
who needs to be held accountable here is Aaron Rodgers.
Well, I'm getting to that.
Yeah,
and which is another reason.
4 drop passes is a lot.
I'm not going to blame the wide receiver room because Aaron isn't playing well.
For Joe Douglas to hand the keys, everything that you said, Dylan, to a 40-year-old quarterback to bend the knee and give him everything he wants to go sign all them Green Bay receivers to go hire Hackett for offensive coordinator after he got. I still have never seen an offense as bad as that Denver offense was. What is it now? 3 years ago? 2 years ago?
2 years ago.
He should. There's no world where he should have got a job after that.
Well, again,
There's no
Hackett
world.
wasn't a him hire.
It was
That
Aaron
was a
Rodgers
Woody.
hire.
That was a Woody hire. When I tell you anything that has to do with Aaron Rodgers is Woody Johnson, that is the fact. The guy that Saleh and Joe Douglas wanted was Derek Carr. Woody Johnson overrode them and said, we're going to go get Aaron Rodgers. We're going to go get Hackett to make Rodgers comfortable, and we're just going to rock that way. Woody Johnson, since he's been back from the 4 years in England, has never been as active on these microphones as he is right now once we got Aaron Rodgers. Right? He's never been this active. Even when the Jets in 2010, 2011, 2009, 10, 11, that stretch where we were really good, Woody Johnson didn't speak a lick. Everything that has to do with Rodgers is Woody. Joe Douglas had to sit there and be like, well, if the owner's telling me to do this, my hands are tied. My hands are fucking tied on this. And we're going to sit there and be like, oh, he fucked up the left tackle. How about all the UDFAs that he's gotten paid? How about all the guys he's found in free agency on low deals that are playing all pro? What about the guys he's found in rounds 4, 5, and 6 that are playing really well? Those are the ones he fucked up on Mekhi Becton. He hits Breece Hall second round. Sauce Gardner first round. Garrett Wilson first round. Jermaine Johnson first round.
I could have picked Garrett Wilson.
Again, Sauce Gardner, Garrett Wilson, you earned those picks.
Sauce
Perfect.
was highly rated coming in.
Yeah, Sauce was an easy pick, though.
Right?
And
Trading up for
also-
Jermaine Johnson. That's him. Trading up for Elijah Vera Tucker. That's him.
But all these moves that you're saying affect what side of the ball?
Offense.
No, there's a Sauce pick. The way that this defense has morphed into a top 10 defense is because you have a great defensive coach.
Yes, but
Saleh,
Garrett Wilson.
to me, Saleh gets the credit for what that defense is. The strength of this team is the defense. It's not the offense.
Correct.
Saleh has nothing to do with the offense. So
But
as
he's
the
the head
offense
coach.
struggles, I understand that. But they've established that Aaron and Hack, all y'all go over. It's clear that they told Saleh, you go do your defense and we got this over here. And now that this over here isn't working, it's your fault.
I mean, that's how it's usually done, though. Is it not?
That coach gets scapegoated?
No. When you're a head coach and your specialty is one side of the ball, you're kind of usually separated. And then
But you're also held responsible.
You're
held responsible for that side of the ball.
You have to be. So look at Kyle Shanahan. Kyle Shanahan does nothing on the defensive side of the ball. Nothing. He only does offense. He's just lucky to keep finding great defensive coordinators to coach that Ferrari of a defense.
And when they are losing in the Super Bowl, why are we blaming him? Why is he on the hot seat? Because their offense falls apart in the biggest moments. San Francisco's defense didn't lose them that game.
So my next question is, what type of head coach is Dan Campbell? Is he an offensive or a defensive head coach?
I don't know what Dan Campbell is.
Because I also don't know what Dan Campbell is.
I don't know what I would say. You got me there. I don't know what Dan Campbell is.
For years, his offense has been really good and his defense has been dog shit until this year. Nobody said a word about it. Nobody said a word. But when the defensive-minded guys, this is a trend for the league, when the defensive-minded guys are elite on their side of the ball, but the offenses don't pick it up, then all of a sudden it's like this fucking problem, but the offensive-minded head coaches don't get the same thing. Let's look at Mike McDaniel. Mike McDaniel has had great offenses since he's been in the league. This year, we throw aside because of all the injuries. Mike McDaniel's defenses in Miami have been dog shit. Dog shit. And he's never been held accountable a single time for it.
But that's my point.
Single time for it.
But you're making my point.
Yeah,
There's nothing
only
wrong
the
with
defensive guys
Salah's.
get killed.
There's nothing wrong with Salah's defense. It's the offense, and yet he's being held responsible for it. My point to all of this is, firing him on a Tuesday,
It's fucked up.
game week,
on a Tuesday, man.
absolutely epitomizes bad franchises do bad franchise things.
Correct.
Crystallizes it.
Correct. I get it. I don't agree with it, but this wouldn't have happened if they didn't feel like they had a head coach in their building. Because they wouldn't have. The one thing Woody was very clear about was the offense sucks. When he did his press conference, the one thing he was very clear about was the offense sucks. That's why he was very adamant about Ulbrich taking over. Very adamant about Ulbrich taking over.
What does that fix?
That was my initial question, was you fired Saleh to put the other defensive guy in charge when the defense isn't the problem.
Because because you're just like,
the
I don't
only
know
reason
what the Jets think this is going to fix, which is why I also don't know what Davante Adams really is going to fix either, because you can have him, Garrett Wilson, Lazard, you can have all of them, but if y'all ain't running the ball, it's just a matter of time.
I can tell you what Davante fixes right now. It gives you another person on the field who just knows what Aaron is looking for.
And it's gonna piss off your young phenom wide receiver.
I don't think he's gonna give a shit, because that's gonna open up the game for him. Because then you get to put Garrett in the slot all the time. That's what I want. I want Garrett in the slot all the time because he's too good a route runner to not have the rest of the whole field.
So you think Davante Adams will transform Garrett Wilson into what Lazard is doing right now?
And drop the ball? No. No, I think
all of those routes and stuff that Lazard is doing, you think Davante Adams, that will now be Garrett Wilson, which is a significant upgrade from Lazard.
Well, so Lazard really only does like a couple things. A lot of the passes he catches are right at the line of scrimmage, then he just kind of runs and like stiff arms people because he's a big dude. And then you have like a couple of those routes. Like, I still don't understand, like, all the credit that Lazard gets for all these touchdowns. Like, I get it. Fantastic. Like, Anthony was like, yo, Lazard's balling out right now. I'm like, you're not watching the fucking game right now.
He's scoring,
but he also like stopping me from scoring more at the same time. So he is like, for every good thing he does 6 bad things. 6 bad things. And it's like, do I even want him to score at that point if that's what happens? Because he keeps making me take back afterwards. I think Davante gives 2 people on the field that are doing exactly what Aaron wants, fucks up the back end of the defense for Garrett to come in. Ball game, suck my ass, Anthony. Suck my ass, Anthony. I thought we were going to win in Kansas City, Anthony. I thought that wasn't going to fucking happen. Huh? Oh, it's going to be a madhouse. It's going to be a madhouse. Nobody gives a fuck about baseball.
It was a madhouse.
Fuck. You love
we talking about Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes is in attendance.
Owner. Who cares? Who cares? The Swifties are going to be in Kansas City, remember? The Swifties don't give a fuck about baseball. They don't give a fuck about baseball. I see a couple. He's there. I don't give a fuck what you have to say. Yankees win. Yankees win. The Yankees win.
I said they weren't.
They would not win in Kansas City.
I said they weren't going to win in Kansas City in Game 4, Dylan. No, I said they weren't going to win in Kansas City in Game 4.
Somebody pull Anthony's moving the goalpost again.
I said they weren't going to win in Kansas City in Game 4.
Right? Tell me when the fucking Reds are playing. I can't hear you because Frank is playing in my fucking ear. We're over here winning baseball games in the postseason, something you don't fucking know anything about.
You guys got lucky.
Fucking Reds were the fucking
postseason. It don't matter. We're gonna be watching. We're gonna be watching.
Player is a fan of the Toronto Yankees. He is a fan of the Yankees, and he's sitting there rotting.
And we're still gonna be watching the World Series for the same couch, buddy. We're still gonna be watching the World Series for the same couch, buddy. Y'all not going to the World Series, man. Y'all not going to the World Series. Y'all not winning this series, Dylan. Y'all not winning this series.
What did you say? That's what this is. Spend more money.
Series not over. Series not over.
Series is over.
The series not over. Series not over.
Yankees win.
Series not over. It's not over.
Yankees win.
It's not over.
Yankees win.
Series is not over.
Hey, Anthony. Hey, Yankees
Series
win.
not over.
Yankees win.
Series not over.
Yankees
Series.
win.
They need one more. They need one more.
We'll get it.
They need one more. They need one more.
Right. We're the best road
They
team
need one more.
in baseball, motherfucker. And we were gonna win in Kansas City. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here.
Did y'all win? Y'all didn't win the series. Y'all need one more. Y'all need one more.
Hey, how many post-game away games have we lost this year?
Did y'all need one more?
How many postseason away games have we lost this year?
Yeah. I'm gonna remember this when y'all lose the series. I'm gonna remember this when y'all lose the series. I'm gonna remember this when y'all lose the series.
What's the bet, Anthony? What are we gonna run?
I'm gonna remember this when y'all lose the series.
What are we gonna make the bet?
Huh? We're gonna bet 2 bottles of Gatorade. 2 bottles of Gatorade.
10 bottles of Gatorade.
That's it.
Go with the fucking 5 packs you owe me, you fucking loser.
I don't owe you 5 packs.
That's right, you owe me like 4 packs, like 3 prime.
Do not owe you.
Jesus Christ, look at Pat Mahomes all sad, you fucking dork. You fucking loser. God damn. Fucking losers over there. Bunch of fucking losers.
Right now, Mike.
Jesus Christ.
All this and y'all still gonna lose the series. That's crazy.
Anthony,
That's crazy.
suck my ass. They won in Kansas City, which you said we would not win it.
I said in game 4. I said in game 4.
Shove it up your ass. This madhouse.
I said in game 4.
With the fucking Bronx Zoo that we play in every fucking home game.
I said in game 4.
Nowhere we're gonna play has a fucking home atmosphere like the Yankees have at Yankee Stadium. So I don't want to hear shit about how we can't fucking win in Kansas City. Best road record in baseball, and you don't think I can win a fucking game in Kansas City? Fuck that. Kansas City's not even in Kansas. It's in fucking Missouri. Who cares? Don't nobody give a fuck about Missouri. Woo. Go back to playing football, Pat. Leave baseball to the fucking pros. That's why your dad's a loser in baseball too, you fucking bum.
Oh my God. I need the Mekhi Phifer. I need the Mekhi Phifer. I need the I need the Mekhi. He needs to have 800 cigarettes in his hands right now, yo.
Start spreading the news.
Shit.
Well,
I'm leaving today.
There's no need.
They want to be a part of it. New York, New York. Sing, Frank. Sing it. Sing it, Anthony. You know the words.
It's a great song, Anthony. It's a great song.
I'm gonna remember this when y'all lose the series. This is gonna be fun.
We're not losing.
What did he say?
Shut the fuck up about it because we weren't going to win nothing in Kansas.
I'm gonna tell you to replay this whole segment when y'all lose this series. I cannot wait for that.
It's going to be even worse. When we win, it's going to be even worse.
I cannot wait for that. I'm gonna tell you to replay this whole entire segment when y'all lose this series.
Worse. When we make the World Series, it's going to be even worse because you said we'd be on the same couch watching the World Series with you. Can't watch.
We absolutely will.
The World Series. Can't do it.
Absolutely will be watching it.
Couldn't be me. Win some fucking baseball games, you fucking clown.
Man.
In the regular season, dork.
Wow.
What day is Game 5?
We can watch it together. We can watch it together. We could pull up, watch together, and then you have to sit there and wait and listen to Frank on replay. On fucking replay as we count World Series rings together. Fucking dork.
Saturday, October 12th. I can't wait.
I'm unavailable Saturday. It's my and Janice's 13th anniversary. But I will be watching the game while we're out doing whatever the fuck we do. And Anthony, if the Yankees win, I'm calling the group chat. You better answer. You better answer. I gotta sing Frank for you. I gotta sing Frank for you.
But that would be if we get to Game 5.
Oh, there'll be Game 5. You guys aren't winning tomorrow.
Because they threw their nuke today.
Best road record in baseball.
Yeah, you guys aren't winning tomorrow. Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
You weren't winning tonight, right?
Yeah, but you're not going to win tomorrow. Like I said, the Royals will walk into the Bronx and they'll win the series
they got
on Saturday.
Very first, and that's not happening.
Holy shit!
That's not happening.
What did you sign?
Listen, James. Listen, the Yankees are not going to win this series.
After Game 4, I think we should have a live listening party to Frank Sinatra. Frank Sinatra. James outside. All we'll do is pop in post game. We'll play highlights of the game while listening to fucking Frank Sinatra for like an hour. I think that sounds like a fucking wonderful time.
Start spreading the news.
Make Anthony the big picture, and he just has to sit there, and then he can't leave until he sings Frank word for word without the lyrics on the screen. Because we're going to be singing it so frequently.
Making the band style. I need Anthony in front of the Yankee Stadium learning
the words. And you're not going to be able to sleep in your bed until you sing it.
Like making the band had to learn Rappers Delight and Biggie Juicy.
Fucking Royals. Jesus Christ.
Word for word, Anthony.
Fucking Royals. The one time I root for a Kansas City team, they fucking lose.
Stop rooting.
Stop rooting against us.
I don't know. It's always worked. I'm gonna keep rooting it. It's always gonna be fuck the Yankees. Don't get that shit twisted.
Yeah. Astros aren't here to save you this year. Neither all those loser Red. Remember when you were like, "Oh, they're gonna win the World Series"? Man, Anthony,
I don't remember saying that. I remember saying that.
Meanwhile, what's the score of that fucking Dodgers game?
The Dodgers are winning. I'll give it to you live right now.
They're blowing the Dodgers out.
5-0. That is a fair ball.
The worst thing that could happen is if the Yankees move on and the Dodgers lose, so he can't even root for fucking Shohei Ohtani anymore.
That would be absolutely terrible.
Well, don't worry. He'll turn into a Mets fan real quick. I know he
would. He would.
Oh, yeah.
I know that's coming.
Sheesh. Hey, Mookie Betts has a home run.
Mookie Betts hit one in the first inning.
So, yeah, we were. I don't know if there's anything left to talk about baseball. The Ravens are unbelievable. The Cowboys pulled one out of their ass. Shout out to Dak.
At the last minute.
Giants also stole I don't know if steal is the right word.
No, they stole that game.
They stole it.
They stole that game.
Stole it.
Giants.
Shout out to Danny Dimes.
And
the crazy thing is, they almost lost. They tried their hardest to lose it, and they got away with a nasty penalty at the end of that blocked field goal.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, wow. All right, you just hold dudes down. You can hold the fucking long snapper down. You can't do that.
It looked illegal, but they didn't call it. So I was like, okay.
Because at first I was like, oh, Isaiah Simmons jumping. I was like, that's illegal, I thought. And then he jumped the gap. So I'm like, okay, cool. And then when they watched in slow motion, and the reason why the gap exists, the gap in between the players, he jumped that. That's legal.
But you can't hit the center like that.
He didn't hit the center.
But you can't hit the center at all.
Exactly. That's why I was like, so originally I thought it was him because he leaped over. I was like, oh, he jumped over the guy. And I was like, oh, he jumped the gap. He's cool. The guy next to him was hitting the center down. I was like, oh, we're doing that? Okay, cool. Because they tried to lose that game. They very much so tried. And boy, did not work out well for them. So shout out to the Giants. They won a nasty game.
So, yeah. And the Niners lost, but they're decimated by injuries. It's almost like their best player.
They still should have won that game. Purdy played bad.
They would have won. Then
but Purdy didn't.
If their kicker didn't get hurt, they would have won. The Cardinals got making a 1-point game, and they're like, oh, they have to score a touchdown. You can't kick. So you have to score touchdowns or just throw the ball down the field and hope for like a deep incompletion if it's not a first down, or hope for an interception at the back half of the game, like a punt. So it's like they were really in a shitty situation. Once Moody went out, I was like, shit. If it becomes a 1-possession game, we're fucked. We are fucked.
And the Commanders are looking like one of the best teams in football right now, too.
Anthony, I'm really starting to root for you. I am rooted for you.
That's the one thing. I'm waiting for them to play good teams because everybody looks good against bad teams. We saw Caleb Williams, who Mike was sitting there after like week 2, was like, I'm really about to start calling Caleb Williams a bust. Played an awful team, and all of a sudden Caleb is awesome.
I will say, did you hear me say he's awesome? Because he played Carolina. He gets no credit for that for me.
But
no, I would say he gets no credit for that. He gets some credit for that.
No, he doesn't. He played Carolina. If we're gonna do anything, we're gonna be consistent.
Carolina absolutely stinks.
Are the Browns a bad football team? Yes, but they're supposed to be a good defensive team on paper.
They are bad.
On the defensive side, at least they shouldn't be that bad.
So Cleveland is the worst kind of team. They look like a team that know they can't win with their quarterback. They like that defense. That defense plays like as soon as they fall behind, you can kind of feel the air go out of the balloon because they're like, shit, we can't come back. And then it just snowballs. And they can't, like Dylan said, they can't bench him. Like, I mean, they can. The
guy behind him isn't like awesome, but you pay him too much money.
You can't convince me Jameis is going to be that much worse. I know.
Oh my god, I completely forgot Jameis is on the team. No, you have to play Jameis. I thought it was Dorian Thompson Robinson.
No, but you can't. But the problem is, what do you do with Watson?
He got to sit down.
You can't bench him with the money he makes.
Their cap hit would be like $172 million if they cut
him. He got to sit down. Like,
you see that Watson has a burner?
Yeah,
that's been going crazy on Twitter. I don't know, but it's pretty. Usually those are right.
But here's the thing: you can't put it all. You can't put it all on Watson though. That line stinks, and those receivers. Oh, hold on, no, Dylan. Amari Cooper's been looking like Alan Lazard this year too, with all those fucking drops. So you can't put all of that on Watson.
The problem is Watson sees the ball down the field and doesn't know how to make the play anymore. He's gun shy.
He's gun shy. Yeah, he's gun shy.
He's scared to make the throw. So you can blame whatever you want. If the quarterback is literally actively looking off receivers, faking a pump fake, and instead of throwing the ball out of bounds, going to take a sack or a 1-yard run instead of trying to make the throw, that's not the coach.
That's what I mean. Like, I understand that James is going to just throw picks, but you know what? Hey,
that's better than anything.
He'll give you 2 touchdown passes too.
Because he's going to give you touchdowns, and if he gives you the touchdowns before he gives you the picks, you might win because that defense is good enough to hold him.
And Jameis is just going to throw the ball. That's the most important part here. Watson's not throwing the ball.
Jameis is not gun shy.
Jameis is the opposite of gun shy.
He's not gun shy.
He's gonna show you his gun collection. he's gonna bring him on to the game. Show everyone
But unfortunately, it's
better option position to win right now. Absolutely.
but when do you pull? When does it get to a point where Watson's playing so horrifically bad that you just eat it up, eat the money? When does it get to a point where you just eat the money?
You can't eat the money because you can't get anybody who wants to
No
take
one.
that off.
Yeah, no one will do
Because
that.
Denver was like, fuck Russell Wilson.
But the money difference is just it's apples and oranges, though.
Yeah, I know. But it was a lot for Denver.
And you got to
Cleveland would-
remember, those other owners hate that Cleveland gave him that money in that contract.
Nobody's
So
gonna bail
now-
them out.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So they're not going to bail him out. They're going to sit there and go, "You deserve every second of that because you shouldn't have did it."
The only way you even consider taking whatever trade Cleveland gives you is if they trade you their first round pick this year with it. That's the only way you think about it. Because they're gonna have like a top 5 pick at this rate.
And then
So it's
even
like
even then, I still might be like, "No, like I'm not taking all that dead money." Like I'm still
exactly.
might be like, I'm
That's
not taking that money.
It's 170 million. Dead money. Jesus
No,
Christ.
thank you. No, thank you.
You'd have to give me like 2 first-round picks.
The only
I need 2025 and 26.
Williams trade that the Saints did on draft day, where the Saints
Yeah.
traded their entire draft.
Yeah.
That would make me consider doing that. The Herschel Walker
fact-
trade, I'd consider it.
Yeah, I would consider it then. The fact at the end of all of this, Deshaun is going to walk out with $250 million is still crazy. He's probably going to use that for legal fees, but hey, he can do what he wants. He can do what he
Job
wants.
that the Browns had was this lawsuit,
Mm-hmm.
and they settled. So it's like, well, they were hoping the worst.
And why do you? So yeah, that's football talk. We'll be back when we do our confidence picks. But wait, there's more. We cannot talk football and not talk about the madness that was Saturday in college football. We cannot talk about the
Fucking
madness.
Vanderbilt.
I know. Yeah, Anthony, you can take a seat. James, you can.
Yeah, I'm going to take a seat on this one.
Let me tell you, we was at Chris had a little get together for his birthday. The way I was on my phone looking at y'all saw me in the chat. Alabama lost to Vanderbilt.
In case you guys like,
Skip
so
Bayless
people
is
who
Vanderbilt?
don't know shit about college football, fuck the upsets that happen every year where like unranked teams beat anything. This is probably the biggest upset in college football in
30
like
years.
45 years.
Yeah, I'll give it to you. 40, like
It's like 45 years. This is the single biggest upset. Like that's not supposed to happen.
ever.
Not supposed to happen.
There's no world where that happens.
Like that's inexcusable.
Damn near fireable.
That's a loss that could, like, if I'm like, obviously I'm always harsh when it comes to the rankings. Like if you're a top 10 team and you lose to an unranked team, you need to drop. Like you
But
need to
losing
drop.
that unranked.
Losing to that
They're
Alabama
lucky.
should have went from 1 to like
10
20
or 11,
to like
not
20.
not 20.
You can't lose to that team. They dropped to
Cannot
7.
lose to that team. They
They
dropped to
dropped
7.
to
I'm
7.
surprised
That's-
they only dropped to 7.
They should have
But,
like
but Dylan, they only dropped to 7 because everybody else lost.
yeah.
That's
If
why.
everybody else won and they
Everybody-
lose, they're probably like 16.
Yeah, you're right. So I mean, they got lucky that they got caught in the hurricane, the upset hurricane. Because I don't know what Tennessee is doing. Michigan went up to Seattle and got their doors blown off. Dylan's Trojans got their doors blown off.
Yes, they did, but we know Dylan, don't let Dylan come in here and describe why it happened.
Because you're soft. That's why. Oh, because you hate Lincoln Riley's defense.
I hate Lincoln Riley.
You hate Lincoln Riley.
I hate Lincoln Riley. Bring me some defense.
OFT.
Yes, James. SAWFT. Soft.
Bring me some defensive players, Lincoln Riley. We'll never win anything without defense.
Went to Minnesota and got the 1-2 pow pow.
FSU still stinks.
They do. Raj hasn't mentioned FSU in weeks. It's great.
But when I mention the guy eating shit out of the cup with a fucking spoon as a curse, I'm the bad guy. I'm the bad guy. Me and Steven open up every week on Sunday with that guy eating shit yet.
He can ignore FSU all he wants, but he is not going to be able to ignore FSU when they get that ass whooping from Miami. He is not going to be able to ignore it then because
Miami dodged the bullet.
Twice now.
Dodged the bullet twice.
What a catch. What a catch. It was almost 6-0. These kids is trying my pace. We never even got to talk about how the refs tried to steal the game from us on my birthday. They tried. They tried to steal the game from us on my birthday, but the gods said no. And then they almost gave me and Michael Irvin a heart attack up there.
Can we talk about Michael Irvin? About what he was doing on the sideline?
Listen, don't talk about Miami legend Michael Irvin, all right?
Michael Irvin was on the sideline on all fours with an arched back. Saturday.
I saw that.
Crazy.
I saw that.
Uncle was just very nervous. He's just very.
And then he said, "He goes, my back hurt and I couldn't get up, so I had to stay like that."
He's a Hall of Famer. He's a Hall of Famer. You know, the body is just different at his age. That's all.
It was real different what he was doing. Like, you can't be doing that. You can't be doing any of that.
Oh, nevertheless, we got the dub. That's all that matters. Hopefully, Heisman winner Cam Ward, because I'm hoping. I know Travis Hunter exists.
Cam Ward is number 3. It's Ashton Jeanty from Boise State.
Is playing out of his mind.
It's Travis Hunter. It's Cam Ward. That's it.
That Boise kid's playing out of his mind.
Cam Ward is going to have to keep being unbelievable and
he's being unbelievable.
He's being great, but he has to The problem is if Travis Hunter just keeps playing every snap, he's going to finish ahead of him. That's the only thing stopping Travis Hunter from winning that is Ashton Jeanty from Boise being minus 40,000 to score a touchdown. And he was minus 4,000 on Saturday to score a touchdown, first handoff, 65-yard touchdown.
That kid is a monster. Monster.
He's unreal.
That kid is a monster. And
this is the best.
Watching him play, that's going to translate in the NFL. It's not like he's just outrunning these college kids. No, he's going to outrun grown men. He is just different.
He's fucking good. He's real.
This is giving me let him go to the Chargers.
This is giving me Reggie Bush vibes, where it's I don't think in my life I've seen a better running back than Reggie Bush. In college, I don't think I've ever seen a better running back than Reggie Bush, hands down. Right?
Derrick Henry was unbelievable,
but he only really had 1 year.
That's true.
That's true. I got to watch 4 years of Reggie Bush.
I got to watch Reggie Bush in real time, and it was You're right.
Reggie Bush is why I'm a Trojans fan.
I've never seen anything like Reggie.
Never seen anything like him.
Never seen anything.
This kid is fucking close.
He's good. He's very good.
Every time
he touches the ball, I think he's going to
Reggie
score.
Bush was on a fucking elite team. Elite team. This Boise team's going to fuck around and make the playoff if they keep doing this. If they don't lose,
he's going to run into one of these big boy teams, and they're going to put 9 in the box.
The playoff is great.
They're going to put 9 in the box, and they're going to say, dare you.
We're also in a world where Army, Navy can both get into the playoff right now.
It'll never happen. Navy.
Hear me out, Mike. Hear me out. If one of those teams goes undefeated, they're going to be ranked. They're going to squeak in.
Are they going to be ranked in the top 12?
Yes.
I don't believe it.
I think they will.
I don't believe it. I think Navy is the one that's undefeated. I think Navy is the really good one this year.
Well, they have to play each other.
I hate saying it that way, but
they have to play each other still. So
Army is 4-0. Navy is 3-0. Army has given up 42 points this year,
but they don't play anybody. That's the problem. They don't play anybody. They can win.
That's
the
why I'm saying, like, there's no way
they
that
can
they're
win the
gonna put.
independent and get ranked.
They're not gonna put them in over.
There's gonna be some fuckery. There's gonna be some fuckery that happens, Mike.
Over Alabama, over a 2-loss Alabama, Navy's not getting in.
No, but they will get in over Notre Dame because Notre Dame is ranked 11 right now.
They would not get in over Notre Dame. They would not.
Mike,
they would.
You don't want the fuckery of one of them making it.
The chaos would be great, but it's not.
The chaos. That's why I'm like, we can live in that world. This 12-team playoff lets us live in that world, Michael.
Right now, Army is not ranked.
Army or Navy is not ranked.
Neither one of them
fucking ranked. Because Oklahoma's going to fall out this week.
They both have gotten votes, so they're close.
Oklahoma's going to fall out this week because it's the Red River rivalry, and Texas is a fucking buzzsaw.
Michigan is close to falling out, too.
Michigan's going to fall out.
SMU stinks.
Penn State might fuck around and lose this week.
I would say Penn State is the one who's going to benefit from this 12-team playoff.
Penn State's number 4 right now.
Penn State's really good.
I know, but Penn State might fuck around and lose this week.
If they don't. If Penn State wins, oh, man. I'm rooting for you, Coach Franklin.
Fuck you, Coach Franklin. We're not rooting for you this week.
What?
Guys, who is Penn State playing this week?
Oregon.
Fight on! No, it's us. They're playing us.
Oh, that is you. Yeah. Well, definitely, Coach Franklin. Can't wait to tease you in the chat.
Fight on.
Can't wait. All right, that was me and Dylan's college football report presented by Hyundai. All right, James, Dylan, I can come back. We're gonna talk some MLB. We're gonna talk some playoffs because as Yankee fans, we don't really worry about that team over there in Queens. But damn it, we're gonna have to talk about this team in Queens.
Cisco Lindor.
Make it happen, man.
This team in Queens is on a wave right now, higher than the waves in Florida right now.
They are playing out of their mind. Out of their mind. Francisco Lindor has been their best player all year, and he's showing it. Pete Alonso has finally showed up in a couple games. It's like really cool to see. I'm glad they got this moment to be in the rivalry, but I would like for this to end now. Like, I'm over it.
Because what did I tell you? I don't. I'm over.
Like, I want to play them, but right now they kind of got God on their side.
Exactly.
I think they need to get punched in the face first.
No, I need them to. I don't want to play San Diego either because San Diego's on a different planet. But although they're getting their doors blown off right now, and this is very interesting because they're getting their doors blown off. The Dodgers aren't just beating them; they're blowing their doors off, and now making them have to go back to LA could be.
And they're doing it beating the shit out of Dylan Cease, who's fucking good.
So, hey now, we could have something here.
This is a series I want to like. I wish they could just be like, hey, we're gonna pick one series to make 7 games. This is it. This would be the series because they hate each other. I want them to fight. They want to fight. Manny Machado and the Dodgers manager are about to fucking go to blows.
There will be no handshake line. There will be no handshake line after this series. There will be some talking. There will be some barking.
Mm-hmm. And I love that. I love that. You talk about Anthony. Talk about a team that's bought and paid for in this fucking Dodgers team. Their whole team is fucking people who never played for them.
They're paying Ohtani $80 zillion over there.
They're paying Ohtani on the fucking Bobby Bonilla contract.
Mm-hmm. Because what are you gonna say if it's the Yankees Dodgers, Anthony? What are you gonna say then? Because their payroll is way
higher than ours.
Way higher.
Yeah, but that's not the only reason I like the Yankees. Fuck the Yankees. I'm an Ohtani fan anyway, so I'm fully with the fact that the Dodgers are hella bought and paid for.
It's only fucking fuck the Yankees because the Yankees have been fucking good forever. In every fucking decade, the Yankees are good. Every fucking decade. So I was like, okay, you gotta hate somebody. 27.
I want to see
rings.
Ohtani win the World Series.
I don't.
He said, I don't.
I don't. The Dodgers will do the Dodger thing that they do every year. Like, we want to talk about, like, the Yankees struggling.
Choking the postseason.
The team that actually chokes in the postseason all the time is the Dodgers.
The Dodgers. Like, every fucking year.
All the time.
I've lost the Padres like the last two postseasons.
Clayton Kershaw is, like, turning over in his grave right now because they're not losing.
Yeah.
He's like, I need to go out there and give up 3 home runs.
And
Fuck
shout
the
out
Mets.
to the Tigers because they are packing Cleveland up expeditiously, like they did Houston. And Dylan doesn't care, but I care. I'm watching this team that's pitching out of body right now. They can't hit, but they are pitching out of body right now.
I was telling Mike before we got in here, I was like, I want to play the Guardians because the Guardians give me Minnesota Twins vibes, which is if no matter what the Yankees are doing, if they're good, bad, horrible, like whatever it is, I can put any amount of money that the Yankees going to beat the shit out of the Twins. Any amount of money that the Yankees going to beat the shit out of the Twins. And that's how I feel about the Guardians. No matter what, put whoever on the mound, put whoever at bat, you put me at bat, we're beating the shit the Guardians.
But these Tigers don't know nothing about that. And these Tigers beat us in 2012, I think it was. 2012, I think they beat us. So
yeah, but fuck them Tigers. I ain't worried about that.
Tigers awfully fired up to get a leadoff base hit down by 5.
Hey, man, it's only the 5th inning.
Awfully fired up.
If they can get a run an inning, they're only down by 1 going into the 9th.
They need to score.
And then at that point, once you get to the 9th inning and you only need like a run, anybody's game.
Tight.
Anybody's game.
But that's assuming the Dodgers don't score again.
That is true.
That is very true. But, oh well.
So,
We'll give a fuck.
Yankees game 4. We'll see. I'll think about streaming tomorrow. We'll see. Dylan, Anthony's gonna hide anyway, so
Yeah.
very much be like this if the Yankees win. So, what's next? Oh, WNBA playoffs. Hey, Anthony,
You got anything negative to say about Sabrina?
The best James. You got anything to say about the Liberty? You got anything to say?
Go Lynx. That's what I have to say.
I don't have anything to say about the Liberty. I just wanted my sons to make it, and Stephanie went absolutely apeshit on us yesterday. So it is what it is.
Stephanie Williams, you guys are doing it. But it pained me watching that game because Dejanay had a horrible game. And I was just like, nah, of all games, why my girl got to go out like this? She can't. And I knew her 3 was shaky, but I quickly realized she can't shoot. She can't shoot. That's what she has to work on now. She has become an elite defender. She can't shoot. She got to work on that jump shot because they were daring her to shoot, and it was working. It was. Let me tell you, it was working. And Minnesota's really good. And I told Dylan this. When did they play the Commissioner's Cup?
God, I don't know.
When they beat the Liberty in the Commissioner's Cup, I told you that I was like, this Lynx team makes me nervous. I don't like the fact that they play defense.
I don't care. Lives in 5. Lives in 5.
I will say, even though I thought last year, thought last year was the year. As me and Dylan laughed, as he saw me crash out in real time last year. I was really upset last year that they lost. I think this might be the year.
Anthony, put some fucking respect on Sabrina's name, you fucking coward.
Fuck the Liberty.
Put some respect on Sabrina's name.
What he said.
You came out, you're like, oh, Sabrina had one bad game in that series. You're like, oh, they've been guarding Caitlin Clark like that all da. They were real quiet the game before that when Sabrina took over. It was real quiet the last game they played.
I have nothing against Sabrina. I have nothing against Sabrina. That's me putting some respect on it.
All show. They get cooked.
I have nothing against Sabrina. That's me giving her respect.
Put some respect on her fucking name.
So this Liberty Lynx there, I'm with Dylan. I think the series is going to go 5 because I think Minnesota is really good.
We better.
We have to. I can't.
This Lynx team is
good. How sure are you guys that the Liberty going to win?
Dylan's probably more confident than I am. I am nervous by nature. So I'm picking the Liberty. We have this is everything says this is our year. Everything. But man,
Libs in 5.
Nafisha's really good. Like if A'ja Wilson didn't exist, she's the best basketball player in the world. And because A'ja Wilson exists, it's not even close, which should tell you how good A'ja is.
But their team struggled all season as a team.
Who?
As a team.
The Aces.
Oh, the Aces.
Yeah, the Aces as a team, they struggled all season.
Becky Hammond, stop making excuses. Stop doing that dumb shit, that loser shit. Don't do that.
Also, Dylan, did you? It's little. Maybe it's me. The game was over. Did you see the Aces quit at the end of that? I did not like that. There was 50 seconds left. They was down 9 or 10, and they quit. They just quit. We're not going to foul. We're not going to. They missed the 3, and they was just like, oh, well, that's it. Oh, well, there's a minute left. We'll just lose. Like, what?
Works for me.
I mean, oh, no, that's going to. No, Mookie Betts is really fast. I thought that was going to drop. I thought we.
Can you believe the Red Sox got rid of that guy for fucking nothing?
And then he probably went and won World
Series the next year. Yeah,
World Series MVP. You love the things you love to see. I'll always root for Mookie Betts just for that.
I was waiting for him to not be a Red Sox anymore for me to root for him.
Things you love to see. Same thing with Xander Bogaerts on the Padres.
Fuck Xander Bogaerts.
No, he's a massive Derek Jeter fan. He wears number 2 because of that.
I know. Let me tell you a secret. Most guys who play baseball right now are fans of Derek Jeter. Your boy Alex Bregman, big Derek Jeter guy.
No, he could go to hell.
Big Derek Jeter guy.
Hey, when the Libs lose, you want to throw a parade?
Hell yeah. Shit.
Anthony, big mad.
I'm with you on that one.
Anthony, big mad. That Caitlin Clark stinky stink.
On the couch.
Wait, what?
On the couch.
What?
On the couch while Sabrina is doing everything Caitlin Clark couldn't.
About to go play some Pro-Am. That's what she about to go do.
Oh, I'm a big star now. I'm gonna go be fucking playing golf in the off season. Like, things that matter.
Don't move on too fast as well from women's basketball. We got to give Juju her respects, man.
Oh, absolutely! Shout out to Juju for getting a fucking sick night.
No, shout out to Juju. Yeah,
shout out to fucking Juju, who's gonna be the future first round pick of whatever Seattle team is.
Is Paige gonna enlist? She's not gonna enlist, right? She's gonna stay like 7 years at UConn.
Well, this is Paige's 5th year.
She's like
because she had the injury.
Yeah, she's had two. She had 2 red shirt years though, right?
No, just one.
Just one.
Just one.
Just one, because the last injury happened like mid-season or whatever. So, and I think she has the COVID year. So one of those is
Yeah,
the red
that's
shirt
what
and
I'm saying.
COVID.
Like James is not lying. Like I think she still has 2 years of eligibility left
I think she comes out this year.
I don't
with
know.
Juju.
No,
Oh,
Juju,
no.
I think comes out next year. Not this next year, the year after. So not 25, 26 she comes out.
They should just come out the same year, whatever it is.
I'm gonna tell you right now.
They should come out the same year, whatever year that is, and battle for Rookie of the Year, and then put Caitlin Clark in hell.
Talk about Caitlin Clark breaking rookie records, and she just a regular NBA player.
Like,
oh, okay.
Like Juju is like Melo reincarnated, bro. I don't know if you noticed.
Juju's a bucket.
She's
Like,
a bucket.
Juju is Melo in Syracuse, like through and through, bro. Like it's gonna be. She's nasty, like nasty,
Filthy.
And Paige is nasty.
Paige is fucking filthy too. Paige plays defense. Paige can get her shot wherever the fuck she wants. Paige is awesome. Paige.
I wonder how much of this is. I really want to know how much of this is we really love Juju and Paige versus how much of this is we really want somebody to just take the spotlight away from Caitlin.
One, I'm fully prepared for nobody to ever take the spotlight away from Caitlin Clark. That is what it is. I don't care about Caitlin Clark. This is about pushing the sport forward, right? And the only way you push the sport forward is by highlighting all of the talent that's doing it.
I agree, but sometimes it sounds like deep down inside, I just want the spotlight completely removed from Clark. Like I agree with the whole
bro. I don't want the spotlight to be on one person, because if that spotlight should be on one person, it's A'ja Wilson. And the spotlight is not on A'ja Wilson, and that's a problem.
Well, the spotlight was on A'ja Wilson.
But it's not the way
you see how you love to talk about the negatives, right?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not. When I say that, I'm not just talking about the negatives. I'm also talking about the positives too. I'm talking about both.
Because the problem is,
I
no matter what you say, Caitlin Clark has outshined the entire league, and it's not right, because the person who should be outshining the entire league is the best player in the league. That is A'ja Wilson.
1,000 points.
But again, you guys have to. All right, because me and James kind of talked about this a little bit. Hold on.
What ifism? I don't care.
No, I'm not doing a what if. I'm not doing a what. I'm just saying. 'Cause me and James talked about it a little bit in the chat. That A'ja Wilson controversy didn't do her any favors. What, regardless of what side you're on or whether you agree or disagree, it didn't do her any favors with the public.
That video came out. I want to know that.
It doesn't matter. It didn't do her any favors with the public. It didn't.
You know that video is almost a year old.
Yes, it is. Exactly.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all.
This is a recycled thing. That's why this is stupid. When you brought it up, I never wanted.
I'm talking about the public. We're talking about public persona. Who should be getting the spotlight? It didn't do her any favors.
Who cares?
Forget about whether
wrong.
This is not about who's right or wrong, dude. We're talking about who should be getting the spotlight. You said it should be the best player in the league. I'm like, okay, I can't disagree with that. But what she said, even if it was only a year old, didn't do her any favors. That's just the fact of it.
Who
Can I ask you a
cares?
question?
Yeah.
So you say it didn't do her any favors, right? All right, I agree somewhat, because if you don't understand what she's talking about, you can look at it from a certain way. But what I'm saying is, what favors was she looking for?
No, I'm not talking like I understand where she was coming from, what she was trying to say. But the thing is, when we're talking about,
I'm only talking about say if this video doesn't exist, what favors as being A'ja Wilson are you looking for, as in terms of being regarded as like the best player in the league and all the things she's doing as far as like how she's being personified as well, like being non-selfish, and anything she does is for her team, and she doesn't like the spotlight, and she's just out there balling, and she even stopped wearing certain clothes because it's all about the game. I'm not doing the runway walks and all this stuff like that. I'm wearing a t-shirt and sweats, and
sweatpants,
it's
all that
about
shit.
basketball, and I want y'all to know it's all about basketball.
Yeah.
I'm going out there balling. Now, so with all of that, with the video aside, with knowing that and who she is, what favor is she looking for prior to the video?
No, she's not she's not looking for any favors in particular. No.
So with her, if we take away all the politics and the
Yeah.
popularities, and we're only talking about basketball, why isn't she being
Yeah.
regarded as such? That's why I don't understand it. That just proves that it's a popularity contest when it comes to Caitlin Clark. Now, I'm not negating her skill, because she's skilled.
No, I don't disagree with that. I don't disagree with that. Because even a blind man will tell you that A'ja Wilson is better than Caitlin Clark. Like I had an argument with somebody on the Twitter space not too long ago who thought Caitlin Clark was going to be better than A'ja Wilson and should be MVP. I was like, you're fucking retarded. I mean, there's no way that's going to happen. A'ja Wilson is like on another planet at the end of the day. But yes, I do agree with that. It is more so a popularity contest than it has to do with actual like talent and whatnot.
Yeah, I mean,
It's just it kind of was it.
No, I was just saying I like Caitlin Clark. I post videos in the chat often whenever she does things, and when she got Rookie of the Year, I post it in the chat and stuff like that. I think she's nice. It's just a few things that I don't really like. I'm not a big fan of how she handles certain things. Maybe that's her agents. Maybe it's the people in her corner. Maybe it's just how she wants to handle things, as far as like just not talking about certain things, which is like an easy way out. But the way it is perceived, it looks like she's also like silently enabling certain like behaviors without it. Like when you don't put anything into place, like, oh, I don't stand for this and stand for that, like for her not to say anything about the race issues when it comes to her and how the fan base is, but then to talk about politics and the presidential candidate, it's like it's null and void. It's like, how can you do that and then do that? I don't understand that, but I guess that's in the further talk, I guess.
No, I see what you're saying. Like, because the problem is, even just going back to the whole Juju thing, where her getting this deal, which is awesome for her. I mean, damn, they turned that into part 2 of the A'ja Wilson roast. They literally turned that back on A'ja Wilson and went in on her. They've been going in on her all day, ever since Juju won that. It's literally just nonstop comments of, oh, where's her white privilege? Where's A'ja calling? Why isn't A'ja her calling her out? Like it is just people just going in. It's just it's the blowback that she's still getting from saying what she said. And going back to Clark's lack of responses or silence and whatnot. Sometimes in certain people's eyes, the best response is no response in certain situations. And again, I'm not disagreeing. This is a popularity contest, and sometimes you got to play the popularity role. You got to do it well, and that's just what it is right now, realistically. I don't know how long people are going to hold this over A'ja Wilson's head. I hope they don't hold it over it too long, because she is the best player in the league. Like, she is the definition of an elite basketball player. So it sucks that this had to happen to her.
Yeah.
I don't even think this is that big of a deal. The problem is the people saying shit about the privilege are the people who like to say they don't see color. And if you don't see color, you don't see the privilege. So anybody who has that opinion can go fuck himself, to be honest. Never said anything wrong. Anybody who's trying to throw that in A'ja Wilson's face is fucking stupid, because just because you can acknowledge one thing doesn't mean the other thing doesn't exist. And
they're trying to say that
just because Juju got her deal doesn't mean that privilege doesn't exist in the other space. So that shit's fucking stupid. It's very possible that Juju
One of
is
the-
incredibly marketable and great at the fucking game and deserves everything she got, because it also isn't just an excuse, right? So for anybody to use that as your shit for shitting on fucking Asia Wilson is lazy, to be honest. Incredibly lazy, because then you're ignoring the point of what she was saying.
Mm-hmm.
One of the biggest gripes that people had with what Asia said specifically was that she went to a bunch of privileged schools. That was one of the main issues that people had with what Asia said. They brought up, the fact that she went to a bunch of privileged schools and thing. So that was one of the big issues that people had right there.
What does that have to do?
But the thing is, that really doesn't have anything to do with anything, but like those privileged schools, like USC is a prestigious school in every aspect of the sport. It is one of the most successful sports schools in the history of fucking sports. You're going to be more prone to get more exposure in certain schools than you are in others. It's just like in the NFL. You are more likely to get more exposure going to Alabama than you are going to Missouri.
It's
Than
like
you are
being
going
a
to Kentucky.
fraternity.
It's just what it is. That's just what happens. South Carolina, where Asia Wilson goes to, not a big school. Like it's a big school, but it's nowhere near anything else in the SEC. So it's like you have the prestigious schools in the SEC. Your Alabamas, your Georgias, your Floridas, your Tennessees, your Texas, your Oklahoma. All these teams, all those will be viewed higher than the lower end schools do. It just is what it is. And that allows for more exposure for it. That's just the game, right? And the more exposure you have, the more likely you're going to have the privilege that comes with it. That's just what it is. You can't ignore that shit. And could this Nike deal have to do with something with Juju being in one of the biggest schools in the country? Yup. Could it also be because Juju is fucking awesome? Yup. Like both of these things can be true. But anybody who wants to fight Asia on this is part of the problem.
I also checked. Juju is eligible in 2027.
Damn.
So we still got a ways away.
Yeah, she was a freshman last year, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Dog. Freshman, and she was like top 3 players in the country. Dog. She's a walking bucket. Walking bucket. Shout out to Juju.
Yeah, I don't think there will be anybody that's gonna break Caitlin Clark's point average and 3-point shots and stuff like that for a while, just because of how she plays.
Yeah, she plays like Steph, so it's
Yeah.
like that's hard to do it.
Yeah, so it's gonna be wild before anybody breaks those records. But I mean, I don't think that translates to how good a player is.
Correct.
In different aspects. But Caitlin Clark, man. Yeah, she definitely is doing something that we've never seen before, for sure. And a lot of players, as they get more tenured in the sport, they learn the game. She's just gonna have to learn the game in different ways. It's only her first year. She's gonna get better and stuff like that. She's gonna get stronger, and she's gonna learn. She's gonna learn to manipulate those physical players a lot better versus reacting to those players. She needs to learn how to play the game and manipulate when players are trying to be super physical with her, just like how players do in the NBA. You know, people try to bully players that are smaller and stuff like that. And instead of reacting, you just embellish a little bit more a part of the game like a Chris Paul does. I fucking hate the way Chris Paul plays, but is it legal and is it the right way to do things?
Yep.
Yes. She'll learn that.
Don't talk about the point guard like that.
Hey, he's inside right now. I mean, it's a good thing they have Wemby, but if they didn't have Wemby, it's a hell of a place to end.
He's already throwing lobs at that motherfucker, and it's horrifying.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, but that's the place that he would probably wanted to end his career. He probably wanted to end his career in where do you think he would want to probably end his career at? Wherever LeBron is at. Yeah, but other than that, ending his career with Pop is like probably his dream.
As many times as Pop sent him home.
He sent them home once too. Once
he did on that great little jump shot that he hit
off the glass.
Game. Yep, as we were driving to Uncle Bob's house. Listening in real time, and I almost crashed the car.
Was injured and lost the next series because of the same lingering hamstring injury that he's dealt with his whole entire career. But,
shaking my head.
Yeah, fun note. I almost crashed the car when Chris Paul hit that shot.
Yes, that is true. I was staring at Mike like, what the fuck? I get it. It's Chris Paul. He beat the Spurs, but like, what the fuck?
So, all right. Anybody want to make? You guys want to make a prediction? Your hater prediction for the WNBA finals?
Go Lynx.
Go Lynx.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Lives in 5.
All right. Well,
give me liberty or give me death.
Where you at, Mike? What's your position?
Lives in 5. Lives in 5. It'll be a scene. I might go to game 5. Who knows? I probably won't do that because my teams always lose when I go to games. So
yes, they do.
It's cursed.
Who Tennessee face this week?
Bum ass Colts.
Oh, y'all got the Colts this week. Y'all should beat them. Michael Pittman Jr. Shocker is injured again, so
Flacco
should be
they're not winning. If Flacco's playing, they're not winning. balling. Richardson playing, they got a shot. They got a shot. But if Flacco's playing the way he's connected with Alec Pierce, they ain't winning nothing. Nothing.
Damn, Mike, y'all gonna go home with Joe Flacco?
The Browns are regretting not keeping Joe Flacco.
They should have kept Joe Flacco.
Joe Flacco had Doug Peterson on his hands and knees on Sunday. Had his hands in his face as he's crouched down. He's like, what the fuck is happening? He's about to get fired right then and there. He thought he was about to get fucking fired. He's like, this dude Joe Flacco is really about to send me the fuck home.
That's who should have got fired.
Yeah, let me tell you something.
Listen, he might not.
From London.
Yeah, that's what I was just about to say. He may not make the trip from London.
He not come back.
He might
stayed at home before he got fired.
Yeah.
Peterson may just have to stay over there in Tottenham Hotspur Stadium and just enjoy some time there eating fucking chips and unseasoned food.
They lose to the Bears and they lose to the Patriots too in London. He ain't making that trip back. He ain't making that trip back.
If they lose to the Patriots, oh no. Can't do that. No. Anybody that loses to the Patriots, fire him. Can't do it. Like, I feel bad. I absolutely feel bad for the Patriots this week. Because Anthony's over here like, play the kid. I'm like, nope, don't play the kid.
Drake, it's Drake season, fellas.
It is
Drake season.
You're gonna get the kid hurt. You're gonna make the kid hurt. You're gonna ruin him.
I'm just mad they're throwing him against the Texans. Like,
that's terrible for him. That's so bad for him. That offensive line is worse than the Bears' offensive line. And you know how many times that Texans team pressured fucking Caleb Williams? They pressured him
a lot.
6% clip on regular rushes, not counting blitzes. And Drake May is not as good as Caleb. And Caleb has
It's gonna be a long day for Drake May.
Mike said earlier about the telltale signs of a bad organization. Putting your rookie quarterback in a lose-lose situation is bad. Like, that is just bad. Teams do bad.
Well, the problem is Brissett's ass. Jacoby Brissett stinks.
You put Jacoby Brissett in there to make
take
sure
the
Drake May doesn't die.
Yeah, you put him in there to take those bullets.
You literally it's season, keep playing Brissett, protect Drake May at all costs until you are ready to actually play him.
You let him play in like week 14, 15.
Yeah, when the season's over.
And nobody cares. And then he can come in there in
And
garbage
then he's hero.
games and play good and be like, oh, I can do this NFL thing.
He gets confidence. He comes in the next year with more talent
And
on the roster. And then he's bam, done.
Because that's what
Freeze.
Andy Reid did with Patrick Mahomes. And, well, you know, Andy Reid's the greatest coach of all time. What does he do?
This is just like, hey, let's kill this kid before he even has a shot. Let's fucking do it. Let's kill him. let's fucking him so he has to pick another quarterback.
Going back to coaches for 1 second. If I still think Doug Peterson's most likely going to be the next one in line to get fired. If not him, I'm thinking Zach Taylor.
If not,
His seat's pretty fucking hot.
Well,
it's gonna be one of those AFC
Manny Machado. Oh, warning track power.
Oh, it's gonna be one of those AFC North teams. I think Zach Taylor is more safe than Stefanski is.
I think
So
Stefanski's in trouble.
Stefanski's in trouble.
Yeah, but the Bengals have Super Bowl aspirations, and they're not even close to that right now.
The problem is the Bengals' offense is really fucking good, and their defense is not. Like,
because the problem is Joe Burrow is literally the MVP right now. That's the problem, and they're 1-4. Yes, he is, Mike. Like, Joe Burrow's playing out of his fucking mind.
He's in the conversation, but
what quarterback is playing better than Joe Burrow right now?
Baker Mayfield and Sam.
No,
are playing
that's not
better than him.
No. Baker Mayfield playing better than Joe Burrow?
Sam Darnold is the MVP of the league right now. I don't know if you
Sam
know
Darnold is not the MVP of the league.
Who's the MVP of the league?
He's not the MVP.
Patrick Mahomes.
It's Sam Darnold and the undefeated Roz is woken from his slumber. Sam Darnold is the MVP of the league. That's who I would give my vote to.
No, my
Patty's
vote would
good.
go.
Patty's great.
Patty would be one. Patty would be one right now.
Playing unbelievable right now.
Joe Burrow is 3 for me right now.
So who's 2?
I don't know. I have to really take a look at it, but it was Josh Allen before Josh Allen started playing like shit these last couple of weeks, so he has to lose. But
What about Jackson?
Lamar? No, Lamar. I can put Lamar number 2 right now because Lamar is playing hot right now. You know who's not anywhere near is fucking Jalen Hurts. He fucking stinks.
Jalen Hurts.
Talk about that last drive by Buffalo in that game. How they wasted no time and decided that they were just going to throw the football, and how the league just seemingly ignored Josh Allen slamming his head on the fucking floor and didn't actually take him in to get looked at.
Just furthering James's claim that they don't care.
Anybody else would have gotten taken out. Josh Allen, they wanted to give him a shot. Josh Allen thought that day was fucking Wednesday, and they still threw him out there.
What are you implying, Dylan? Why do you think that is?
I don't know. Maybe because he was fucking concussed.
No, why do you think they let him keep playing?
Oh, because he's the golden boy. They want to see him win. They want to see him out there and have a shot to win. They'll throw the rules out real quick when it's beneficial to them. And boy, did he look like he was concussed on those 3 plays.
That boy is a beauty bird.
So, remember when I was like, oh, these the 3-game stretch for a couple teams I really want to look at to see how they are when they actually face some adversity and take a look. The Bills are exactly what I thought they were.
I knew you was going to say that.
The Bills are exactly what I thought they were. The Texans are also exactly what I thought they were because they play to their competition every week.
So
I still don't really know.
good or the Texans?
I'm not seeing anything special about this Texas team. They're still disappointing to me right now.
I'm still very confused on this Texans team, but I know that whatever game they play is going to be a competitive one. No matter who they play, it's going to be a competitive one. Like that's a game you want to watch because they're going to go back and forth. The Texas defense is weird.
So you're saying that this Patriots game is going to be competitive?
It might be, or games where it looks like where they just beat the dog shit out because the Patriots defense isn't good. So at least the Bears defense was good, right? So that game was a little bit more of a shootout because the Bears defense is good. The Patriots defense stinks. So
they held the Dolphins to 15 points.
With fucking Skylar Thompson, with fucking Snoop Huntley. They're playing 4th-string quarterback.
Back.
Like, why am I impressed by this Dolphins team that already wasn't scoring points and now has 4th-string quarterback who's been on the team for a week? That Dolphins team stinks.
They're in.
Stinks. They weren't scoring when they were healthy. Stinks.
They played one game healthy.
Didn't score any points. They won with zeros on the clock. What is it? They had a lead for 1 minute and 54 seconds in this entire season. Hang the banner. Hang the banner. Their defense sucked. They paid Jalen Ramsey all that money for him to fucking stink. God. Nobody can tell me Jalen Ramsey to play good.
Yeah, you don't like him.
The problem is I like Jalen Ramsey. Now that he's a Dolphin, I get to freely shit on him because he's a Dolphin. But man, every time I watch Jalen Ramsey, he's getting shit on. And it's like, man, this contract looks worse and worse every week. Every week. Ugh. You know whose contract is worse? Patrick Surtain. Shout out to the Raiders.
That fucking Broncos defense.
Can I get a congratulations, Dylan, for saying that you thought the Broncos were going to win? I deserve that.
Do you?
I do. I deserve that. Don't worry. I got on my confidence points.
Realistically, I would give you that, but I'm just like, all I can think about is that horrendous Minshew interception that cost us the game. I'm just like, it's just preventing me from wanting to give you
that interception. So
no, stop. Don't sit here because again, score is 18-13.
How many points did you
lose? Score is 18-13. We lost by 2 scores, Dylan.
How many points did you lose?
One of those scores came from a 100-yard pick six, Dylan.
Take the pick six away, you still lose?
No, we win.
Take 7 points off the board of that final score. You still lose?
We would still win that game.
You lost. If I have this 34-18 score, I take 7 points off that score. You guys still lose.
I'm not talking about from a mathematical standpoint. I'm talking about we don't lose that game. We don't lose. Here's the thing. We will be up 17-3, and we would have not have just completely just lost our confidence. Like we were playing with just a complete lack of confidence after that 100-yard pick six. I watched the game. It was just everything just went out for us. And then Minshew threw another bad pick like later on in the game. It was just that was one of those games where it was like, okay,
the same thing. So that
What do you say? Whatever you say. AOC led a scoring drive. AOC led a scoring drive, right? He at least did something.
Garbage time. We already went through this. You tried to lie and say there was more time on the board. I went through and I got the actual timing on it. You guys.
I saw the game, Dylan. The Broncos were still playing. They were still playing, and AOC was carving them up on that drive.
They can't not play. They weren't blitzing. They weren't playing their normal defense. The game was over.
Not true.
They're playing because they can't just be like, all right, game's over. Like, they had to be on the field. 11 had to be on the field.
AOC played better than Minshew that game. You can't tell me otherwise.
I actually can tell you otherwise. He had less yards per attempt. He had a worse completion percentage. He had a worse QBR. He came in and
He didn't throw a game-breaking interception.
You can't
He
break
didn't
the
throw
game
a
when
game.
it's already broken. He came
He
in the second
he
drive
can't.
and threw an
He did.
interception.
But he doesn't make those kind of plays, Dylan. He doesn't do those kind of plays.
Yes, he does.
No, he doesn't.
You
Minshew.
okay,
what?
One Charger game to like this high standard, but you're going to ignore the first Charger.
Who said I was talking about just the Charger? Who said I was talking about just one Charger? We're talking. You keep forgetting. We're talking about AOC versus Gardner Minshew's been in the league how many years?
Anthony, you tried to sit here and do this narrative that Gardner Minshew is a starting caliber quarterback when he was named your quarterback. You guys don't have a good option at quarterback. Aiden O'Connell is not good. You don't have an option.
We will see.
Who's playing. It doesn't matter who's playing.
Here's my at the end of the day, there is not a big talent disparity between Minshew and AOC. That's why it is smart for people. No. That's why. It does matter because you look at the fact that Minshew's been playing for how many years now, and AOC hasn't even gotten one full season. Let AOC play. Let him play. Let him play. See what he can do. If he can show us something, then we have a conversation to keep him so we can address other needs in the draft. Because we're most likely probably still going to lose Adams, despite what Pierce said. I still think we're going to lose Adams. At the end of the day, let's focus on other things.
O'Connell is going to be a franchise quarterback means you don't know what you're watching.
I believe. And so do a lot of Raider fans.
You have no money tied into this kid. He was a 4th round pick. He's not.
But the thing is, Dylan,
to this team,
the same way you say I overhyped that Chargers game, you underhype it. You underhype it. Like you completely just turn a blind eye to some of the good things he's done.
Played another game like that. He's never played another game like that.
He's had other good games. He's had other good games too.
He's not played like that. That is the outlier. He has played more games like that first Charger game.
When is the last time you see Minshew play like that? But when's the last time you see Minshew throw 4 touchdown passes in one half? When has Gardner Minshew done that?
Outlier. That doesn't matter.
But Gardner Minshew hasn't done that once.
I don't care. But the thing is, Anthony, I don't care. They both stink. I'm sure Jamarcus Russell has had many games where he's thrown for like 300 plus yards and multiple touchdowns. He always was bad. Like, what are we doing here?
I just think it makes sense for us to see what we have in AOC. We haven't even gotten a whole year with the kid.
You have to see what you have in him. I already know what you have in him. I'm pretty sure your staff knows what you have in him. That's why they didn't start him right away. The only upside you're going to get out of AOC is he's probably going to turn over the ball less, but you're not going to score. Because you guys don't run the ball well either. So you're not going to be able to establish the run. He's not going to score you points. He's not going to hurt you. He'll hurt you in the fact that he takes sacks. Because he just doesn't sense pressure at all, and the worst person to play
if he works on his pocket awareness, I think he can go places. Anthony, I think he can do something for us.
In that game, not no shit. That's the problem.
Well, Denver played, but again, you also have to get. I get it, but I hate to be the one to make excuses. But at the end of the day, you have to give him some leeway for facing a Broncos defense that has been humiliated. You have to give him some. This is the same Broncos defense that made Baker Mayfield look terrible. Baker Mayfield has been playing lights out this whole year, and he's had one brutal game. It was against the Broncos. They absolutely made that man look miserable. They also made the Jets look miserable.
Aiden O'Connell couldn't sense pressure if it was right in front of him at all. So, and we got to see that immediately when he got into the game before like the Broncos stopped playing. So, what are we doing here? We know the only person here who doesn't understand what Aiden O'Connell actually is in here is you.
Whatever you say, Dylan. Whatever you say.
And when Aiden O'Connell comes out and he's just exactly what I say he is, I don't want to hear shit from you.
And me. I don't know who that is.
I don't want to hear shit because you're also the same guy at the end of the year who was calling him all sorts of names when he was fucking up.
Well, yeah, because he was very up and down, but he had ups. The thing is, I acknowledge his ups. You just don't acknowledge them at all. Like you act like they don't exist. Like, listen, Dylan, me and a bunch of people who are also diehard Raider fans wouldn't be asking Pierce to put him in if he was just complete ass. Like at the end of the day,
I mean,
that don't make no sense, man.
For him is because he can't be worse than Minshew, right? That's the only reason.
He's not worse than Minshew.
He's just about as good as Minshew. Like that's what he is. Again, I stand.
And it's played far less in the NFL, and it's played far less in the NFL than Gardner Minshew. That's why we need to see what. That's why we need to give him a season.
I promise.
That's exactly why. If he's on the same level as Minshew, but has played far less than Minshew has, let's see what the kid can do for 1 year. He has 12 games. Show us what he can do. If he stinks it up, get the hell out of here, and we are going to draft a new quarterback.
I know what the kid.
Simple as that.
He's not going to be on the team next year. Like I said that before the season started. I'll say it right now. Aiden O'Connell's not going to be on the Raiders next year. At all.
I hope you're wrong. That's all I'm going to say. I hope you're wrong.
All you have is hope. Right? That's all you and faithful have.
No, because at the end of the day, Aiden O'Connell panning out for us is the best thing I can have, because then we can use the draft to address other needs that we will have at the end of the day.
Anthony, what's your team's number one need outside of quarterback?
In my opinion, right now, I say wide receiver.
There's not a single player that you'd get your draft pick that you should be taking over Shedeur Sanders. I don't care how good Aiden O'Connell is.
You said outside of quarterback, Dylan, to be
No.
fair. You said you asked him outside of.
I know, but
you just said
quarterback.
I said that because there's still nobody I would take if I'm the Raiders. That's not Shedeur Sanders.
Well, that's
I
a
don't
loaded
care.
question, though.
So even if O'Connell did well, let's say you were in charge of the Raiders. O'Connell takes you to a wild card berth.
That's not happening. You guys stink.
I'm talking hypothetically speaking.
What did he say?
Sanders?
I'm still taking Shedeur Sanders because Shedeur Sanders, no matter what you get out of Aiden O'Connell, I promise you, Shedeur Sanders, Cam Ward, Quinn Ewers, all these guys coming out are better than what you have right now. Right now. There is not a better late game drive coordinator in football, like in college football right now in the country than Shedeur Sanders. Not a single better one, right?
Until he's a Giant.
They won't take him because he's black.
I know.
The next one after that is Cam Ward. All these guys are phenomenal. Right now, they are all better than Aiden O'Connell. Right now. Pop them into that team right now. They're all better than him. They're better than every quarterback in your quarterback room. They're your future. Invest in that, not the fourth round guy that maybe has it, maybe doesn't. No, that kid, get him out of there as fast as possible. Like, it don't matter. Get a vet in, bring in one of these young quarterbacks. There's your future for 10 years instead of maybe this. No, go get a sure thing. Aiden O'Connell's not that good.
If he leads us into the postseason, I don't see why we shouldn't keep him. Personally.
1, you're not getting there. 2, he stinks. So it don't matter.
He wouldn't. For them to get to the playoffs, he obviously wouldn't be stinking.
Or he just game manages and the defense balls out, and they just figure out how to run the ball. I watched them beat the Chiefs with him only completing 9 passes, nothing in the second half.
Yeah, but that's an outlier too, Dylan. How many of those games are we gonna have? That's also an outlier.
We love.
Yeah, come on. You can't say the Charger game was out.
More games like that Chief game than he did that second Charger game.
So he's had multiple games where he didn't throw. He had that kind of passing game. Like, he's had more games like that. Like, come on, man.
He completed 9 passes. Yeah, but you also said that Miami game he played good and he had 3 interceptions. So I don't want to hear none of that.
You played good in the first half.
He threw 3 interceptions.
He did.
You
played good in the first half.
It was all his fault. Oh,
Whoa, wait. We didn't do the confidence points, man.
I know this was a way of me getting out to stop talking. Hit that like, share, subscribe button, notifications button for when we go live. As Anthony said, we are going to get to our favorite part of the week, fantasy focus. Y'all was real chatty patty first 2 weeks. Mike's 0-2. Mike, blah, 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 blah. Who here's won 3 in a row in the fantasy league? Oh, me. That's who. This guy. All that chatting on fire now.
Mike, you were. I'm not even in that league, and you were very somber when you was like, "If I could just get a win."
And James, guess what? I got my win.
One win.
Got my one. Got my one on fire.
Only team
You're
that's
still in fourth
winless.
place.
Doesn't matter.
Team that's winless, but you get a couple wins. Now you just got a bunch of stuff to say, huh?
Well, no, we are great in grind because my team is decimated by injury, and we're being carried to the finish line.
Well, that wasn't
by
your,
one Lamar Jackson.
That wasn't what you were expressing just now. You were expressing.
We're on fire because we've won 3 in a row. We've won 3 in a row.
But you weren't expressing humble. You were definitely gloating
because they weren't expressing humble when I was 0-2. There was none of it.
Mike, I also like what am like
Here
still
comes.
like
Here
in that
comes.
first place range right now where I'm like one of the best teams in the league. I haven't even been talking shit. I only talk shit when I beat the shit out of Anthony's team.
Well, well, I beat the shit out of Rod, so I'm talking shit. It feels good to beat Rod.
I must say though, Anthony, I haven't heard you with your
revenge tour 2024.
Because Anthony's acting like he's a fucking 90-year-old man.
Because I can't. Well, I've been having unfortunate technical difficulties, so I can't even log in. So yeah, that's a whole nother story.
I called this season something for Anthony. What did I call it this season?
Revenge tour. The Revenge Tour 2024.
Ain't gonna be getting no revenge this year. Next year is gonna. I'm pushing the date.
Anthony,
what was that? Last year. No. You're right. Well, we'll have to make some adjustments so I can actually get in for next season.
It's not the Revenge Tour, it's the Defend Tour 2024.
Yeah, Defend Tour. Yeah, that's what it was.
Defend Tour 2024.
And no done, I can't log in.
There we go.
If you could log in for next year, you can log in right now. It's gonna be the same.
Trust me, Dylan. At the end of the day, I'm not intentionally choosing to just not participate. Like, you can continue to run that narrative. I promise you, I'm not intentionally just not trying to participate.
Let me tell you who doesn't believe you. This guy.
Roz has lost 4 in a row.
Wow.
God damn.
Only one doing worse is Mike Ortiz, who has lost all 5 of his games.
Damn.
Yeah, it's not great. It's not
Ortiz
a great time.
Has also been scored on more than anybody in the league by a wide margin. So he's just catching it he's catching the hot person every week. But he's also scored the 3rd least points in the league.
Gotta be better.
But it's cool. Dylan, let's see what happens this week.
Hey man, we'll be all right. Not worried about you.
Before we do the confidence picks, do James, Dylan, any predictions for the Bivol versus Betrovev, whatever it's how you pronounce his name, fight on Saturday?
The one with the longer name.
That works for me. I also think he's gonna win. I also think he's gonna. Bivol's really good, but I also think Betrovev is gonna win. But all right, let's get to our favorite part of the week. It's time for the confidence picks. We again don't have Roz's picks live, but he got
a good week.
He'll phone it in before the games start.
Roz had a good week last week. Anthony did that thing he does where he just has bad weeks.
Let's hit the music.
Yeah, just a terrible week. But I'm gonna go first again.
And
Yeah,
you're
you're
going
gonna go.
first.
I want to go first.
What's the standings looking like right now?
So right now, Roz
Not good.
is in first place with 9. Mike and I are tied in second place with 7. Anthony is firmly in last place with 4. Because the only game Anthony got last week was his one pointer. So
I can't wait for this dinner at Outback from Anthony.
oh, it's gonna be great. It's
Order
gonna be wonderful.
All right,
18 ounces.
let's go.
Right.
It's the time for things to change. My 3-point pick will be the Denver Broncos over the Los Angeles Chargers.
You hate the Chargers.
With a pad.
My 2-point pick will be the Detroit Lions over the Dallas Cowboys. And my 1-point pick will be the Jets over the Bills.
Okay. I'll go second because me and
All
Dylan are tied, and I'll concede to Dylan. My 3-point pick. I'm finally gonna jump on the Dylan train. Whoever's playing New England. Give me those Houston Texans for all 3 points. Nico Collins not playing. Don't care. Throw Jake the ball 50 times. Texans 3-pointer. My 2 points. This is where it gets a little tricky. But there are a lot of division games. And them division games get tricky. But I will head to Las Vegas. And I will pick those Pittsburgh Steelers.
Oh. Fucking bitch.
Give me for my 2-point pick. My 1-point pick. Listen, man, I saw it happen in real time. I don't really know exactly how they did it, but they did it. And I'm going to follow the formula just like the New England Patriots. Whoever's playing Carolina. Give me Atlanta for that 1 point. No, that is Houston, Pittsburgh, Atlanta, all road teams.
Can I just tell you
The road
how I
teams.
hate both of you because each one of you picked one of my picks?
We love it.
Stop me though. So, for my number 3, I'm taking the Ravens over the Commanders.
Because you hate the Commanders.
No, I don't hate the Commanders. I just think
That's a risky pick.
it's not a risky pick because that Commanders defense is bad. It's not very good. And I think the Ravens defense,
They look good the past 2 weeks.
a young team. Well, again, the Bengals offense is really fucking good. The Ravens defense against a rookie quarterback, I will take that Ravens defense every day of the week. My number 2 pick is the Steelers over the Raiders. Fun fact when picking the Raiders against the Raiders.
So y'all both got Pittsburgh over Vegas. That is
Yeah.
crazy.
I don't
2
trust
points.
Aiden O'Connell.
2 points.
I don't trust Aiden O'Connell.
I thought y'all can't pick the same. I thought y'all can't pick the same
Roz is
result.
in this now. Roz is in this now, so it gets changed a little bit, and I was not letting you two pick my fucking picks. So we're doing this. I don't trust the Raiders against TJ Watt. Who, actually, in all honesty, fuck whoever I said was number 2 in MVP rating. TJ Watt is number 2 in MVP rating. I don't give a fuck.
He said TJ Watt is nuts.
Mine. out of his mind. And then my number one confidence pick, we're going to ride with the interim head coaching role, like 70% win percentage on the first week of the interim head coach. We'll take the Jets over the Bills.
It hit like crack when y'all lose.
I wanted to take the Lions over the Cowboys, but I'm like, I can't do that. I wanted to take the Texans over the Patriots. I'm like, I just can't do that. The other game I was thinking about taking was Bengals Giants, but the Bengals defense stinks. And I'm
surprised neither of y'all picked the Eagles over the Browns.
I don't slow down. I still have to get my picks in.
Oh, my bad. Oh yeah, that's
yeah.
James is back.
Back again. Stop the music, Mike. Shout the spunk.
Oh, cut the beat.
Cut the beat.
Acapella.
Shout the spunk. Shout the Uncle Spunk Big. What an Era to Be Alive is out on Bandcamp. Check that out. My picks is gonna be my number 3 pick is gonna be the Colts over the Titans.
Hey, listen, James might come back and have more points than Anthony after this week.
I'm also gonna pick the Steelers over the Raiders. I'm going to pick the Jets over the Bills.
But you're gonna side with the Jets.
In the Jets' favor.
Unbelievable.
On the first.
There's a reason why I picked this way. It's a reason why I picked this way. I'm not gonna.
I don't trust the Bills' offense against the Jets. I just
I'm not gonna
don't.
disclose it live on the pod right now, but there's a reason.
So you might think it's the Colts over the Titans.
That shit's funny.
To my madness.
It's really getting that 2 pick though. That 2-parter with the Steelers Raiders. There's no way 3 of us can pick that and that doesn't go.
What's so crazy about me picking the Colts over the Titans? The Titans are.
No, it's just funny.
The Titans are 1-2, and the Colts are 2-2.
It's just really funny.
Just know, Dylan, if Josh Allen goes off on the Jets, it's gonna hit like crack in the 80s.
That's fine. I'm
coming here. I'm gonna be right here with Anthony
didn't pick
talking.
against the Titans.
Doesn't matter. I'm coming in here talking all the shit, just like Anthony.
The thing is,
the way you hate on Josh Allen, the Jets always play him good. The Jets always good.
At home they do.
If he cooks y'all on Monday Night Football, I'm coming in with all the smoke.
Listen, the Jets notoriously play Josh Allen well at home. They do. That's just a thing that happens. He's going to do it. He's going to do, like, I'm not going to say Josh Allen's not going to do Josh Allen things because that would be wildly disrespectful of me. But I think the Jets defense could do exactly what Houston did. Because I think we're a better defense than Houston. Shout out to us. Will McDonald tied for the NFL second in sacks in the NFL. So who's Hassan Reddick? We don't need him.
Mm-hmm.
Hassan Reddick's not why we're winning. Not why we're winning games.
Neither is Robert Saleh.
Hey, when Hassan Reddick starts to do anything on the offense, let me know. We can use him. Right now, the defense is fine. The defense
it could be better with him. Like,
it's the part that he doesn't understand.
The problem is,
I don't know. Like,
the problem. The defense is not the problem. We have a top 10 defense.
No one said it was the problem, but it could be better with him on the field.
Great.
Like,
Does that make us score?
It could.
On offense?
No, but it makes the other team not score.
They're already barely scoring. That's the
Well, they barely scored. They barely scored in 3 of the 5 games that played.
One offensive touchdown was scored against the Vikings. One offensive touchdown was scored against the Broncos. The defense can't do anything else. The offense can score.
Just pay the man.
Aaron.
Just pay the man. Just give him what he wants.
Before we go, Dylan, I also watched Aaron's interview with the great Pat McAfee.
I don't think so. I don't think Aaron had anything to do with the hiring. I think he might have said something in passing that made Woody just like click because Woody is just a meat rider for Aaron. Where Aaron that is to a T when it comes to Aaron Rodgers. But I also think what he said to Woody is kind of what he's been saying for the last couple of weeks, that he wants accountability. And Woody's like, you're right, I do want accountability. And the head coach isn't holding the offense accountable, so I'm going to hold him accountable. Fired.
Idiot.
But listen,
I
it
don't
is what it
think-
is.
I don't think Aaron said fire him. I don't think that happened. I don't think Aaron was like, this dude gotta go. But I also think he was lying when he said he had no idea that this was about to happen and he was shocked like the rest of us. I know bad franchises do bad franchise things, but there's no way, the way they bend the knee to him, that they did not ask him for his blessing before they did it. Now, whether or not he went, you do what you got to do, because he very easily could have went, you do what you got to do, and then when he found out, he can go, well, I had no idea. Pump the brakes.
Again, not an Aaron Rodgers guy. You're more of an Aaron Rodgers guy than me. I don't believe that.
They had a phone call on Monday night.
Yes, but I think that's just more so.
Woody woke up Tuesday and decided, yeah, I'm gonna fire him today.
Yes, actually, because bad franchises do a bad franchise
After his
thing.
conversation with Aaron,
I think there was much more to it. I don't think it was just like, the last thing I did on Monday night was talk to Aaron, and then I made my decision.
But again, Aaron, what's going on with the offense? Aaron, I think there's no accountability being held. I think that comes from leadership up top. Do you think Robert should go? Hey, man, you do what you got to do.
I don't think
but
that.
there's no accountability going on around here.
I think that's
Heard you. Fired.
I think that's wrong. If an owner has that conversation with a player, that's fucking wrong. I don't think that shit happens. I don't think that happened at all. I think it was the first half he said, he's like, I don't think there's any accountability. He goes, okay. I'll talk to you later, Aaron. And I think he went and marinated on that. I don't believe in the Aaron call.
I don't think Aaron said fire him. I don't.
We're doing the Dylan Rod James literal thing
because Aaron also lives in that world.
Yes, so
he also lives in that world. So you have to very, very particularly listen to the exact words that he said. He acknowledged, we know that they talked Monday. He never said fire him, but we also know that they had a conversation.
But Aaron also said that he had nothing to
training
do with it at all,
lifting weights, and then
so what do you know?
He's fired.
I will take that at face value. But then Tyler Conklin did his media scrum today, and he literally came out and was like, nobody here believes Aaron had anything to do with it, but the person who's taking it the hardest is Aaron. And I don't think it's because he has such a great relationship with Saleh. I think it's because
he didn't think Woody was dumb enough to do it.
No, I think it's because he feels directly responsible.
Because he didn't think Woody was dumb enough to do it.
But again, I don't think that's right. I don't think that's right for anybody to be like, for you to be like that. And again, I like Rodgers the least amount out of anybody in here. And I don't think that's right for that. I don't think he has the right to do that. Or even said that remotely. Because I think completely when Aaron said, if I played better, he would still have a job.
Because that's a fact.
because that is a fact, and that's where it's like we'll leave that. I will leave that at that. I'm not going to blame Aaron for anything that Aaron didn't do, or I don't believe Aaron didn't do, because I'll blame Aaron for everything else that he did do, and I'll give him all the blame for what I want, because I'm still waiting for me to this. Like I'm not waiting for this because that'd be like the Roz thing, hoping for a loss. But like, if this eventually turns down, I get to go on my Dylan was right parade. So like this can only end in Dylan being right, where it's like, oh, the Jets either win and go to the Super Bowl, and Dylan's fucking like, hell yeah, I did it, I said this, or Aaron Rodgers stinks, and I'm like, I told you this was a bad idea. I've read this book before.
Yes, Roz does actively root his team to lose.
I know. That's why it's like, I'm not going to say like I'm doing that, but like that's in my back pocket for like if it happens. But again, I didn't think Robert should have lost his job yet.
I don't think so either, because
He's
not a good coach. We don't think.
He's not a good coach.
Not
like
a good
nothing,
coach, but he's also never had a good quarterback. So I don't know.
But
Exactly.
Woody got sick and he was like, "This is the best team this easily the best team we've had in 20 years."
Who told him that?
Woody?
Jet fans. That's who told him that.
No, I think Woody understands the teams that we've had. Because I also agree this is the most talented Jet team I've had in my lifetime.
That sounds like you're speaking to their potential and not their actual win-loss record.
I'm speaking to the talent that I have on my team. The Jets in my life, I've had one wide receiver as like talented as Garrett Wilson.
Who?
Santonio Holmes.
Oh, okay.
Santonio Holmes was the one wide receiver that I've had that is.
I had Plaxico. He was better than.
Well, not here. Plaxico that I had was not good.
He was serviceable. He was still good.
I had a shell of himself, Plaxico. Plaxico that year was not very good.
But I'll give you Santonio Holmes.
Yeah, Santonio Holmes is the most talented Jet receiver I've had in my lifetime. Outside, like Le'Veon Bell doesn't really count because he wasn't really here. He wasn't really here.
Jet management again.
Joe Douglas didn't sign him,
I
but
know.
Joe Douglas absolutely did right by him by letting him go for nothing. He's like, I'm going to let you go and you go figure out where you want to go. Turns out Le'Veon Bell was kind of washed anyway.
After the Jets.
Well,
he decided to hold out. So
yeah, that's him. That's on
him. But
Breece Hall is the second best running back I've seen the Jets have since Curtis. I'm not wrong. This is the best defensive unit I've had because those 2010 Jets defenses outside of Revis, when Revis got hurt, we were dog shit. We couldn't. The strength of that defense was blitzing.
So the Rex Ryan's defense, those weren't good.
When Revis got hurt, do you remember when Revis got hurt? So when Revis tore his ACL, they were horrendous.
That wasn't the Moss play. Right?
No, that was not the Moss play. That was not the Moss play.
That's true.
Actually, that year, Randy Moss was locked up and Revis was picking him off. So whatever. But when Revis went down, you couldn't zero blitz anymore to get pressure. When we couldn't blitz because the Jets didn't have a pass rush outside of blitzing, that defense wasn't very good. It was Revis, it was Cromartie, it was David Harris, and it was Bart Scott. The defensive line didn't exist. The only reason they got pressure is because of blitzing. So this is a better overall unit than that team. But Rex was the better defensive coach, I think. And I really like the solid defense. But I also don't think I've seen the best version of this defense because we haven't been able to play with too many leads to see how they pin their ears back. And I got a taste of that in the Patriot game. So maybe we'll see something different.
But can we judge that because it was a bad team?
Well, so you could say that it's a bad team, but the play calling still gets to be called a certain way because you have a lead, right?
You know, these green colored glasses.
I don't think for me to say because we played with a lead, we got to see how a defense was called differently.
No, but you always diminish other teams when they play bad.
The
teams that
Patriots
beat up.
fucking stink, right? The problem is,
So why are
I
you
have
getting
told you
credit
I
for that?
don't know what this Jets team is, right? Because I haven't seen them do it consistently, right? So I don't know what the offense is. I do know what the defense is, right? I know what the defense is without playing with leads, right? I know what this defense is, that this defense does what it does without blitzing, right? But I got to see the Jets defense in a different way in that Patriot game because they were playing with a lead. Whether the team's good or bad, in this instance, it doesn't make a difference because the play calling is different because you're playing with a lead. Right? So you could do things that you can't do when you're in a 3-point game. Would I like to see what this Jets team looks like against better competition? Yup. Would I like to have seen what the Jets defense does against a Vikings team with a lead? Yup, because I saw what they were doing without a lead. I'm like, oh, cool. Like, this is great. Like this. This is good defense. But there's still a level of the defense that I don't think I've seen yet. And that's not green tinted glasses. That's just, hey, we haven't really had many opportunities with a lead to see what the rest of this defense can do. Can we do some of those zero blitz packages? I don't know.
Ain't nothing stopping you.
I mean, yeah, there is. It's the opportunity of going from being down 7 points to being down 14 points. That's what's stopping you.
No risk it, no biscuit.
That's silly.
Tell that to Bruce Arians in his ring.
Bruce Arians also adopted the Riverboat Ron mantra and was just going for it on fourth down all the fucking time. And I don't like that either. So, no, it's not green tinted glasses to be like, oh, there's still something else I haven't seen. So stop that. While also acknowledging the Jets beat the shit out of a bad team.
That's what y'all did.
We did.
I'm him.
Absolutely did.
For this week of October 10 in 2024.
I'm him.
Should I go first? I mean, I've been setting it on fire tonight. Setting it on fire. Setting it
Go ahead,
on
James.
fire, Mike.
Go ahead. We'll,
I'm him should be
Asking to go first and not being
Nothing.
prepared.
I don't know.
Just stuttering.
I don't know.
The man to go first,
I got
and then this is what we get.
I got two of them. The first one is gonna be Bronny James for starting his first game in the NBA. Shouts out to him.
Okay.
Long time coming. There hasn't been any high profile dad son duos in a sports league in a very, 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 very long time. I think the closest to high profile as this is probably like the Berries, like Ricky Berry and Brent and John.
In basketball, I think so. But
basketball. I mean, but other than
yeah.
that, you could probably think of like
The Griffies.
Griffies, but that wasn't like high profile. Besides Ken Griffey Jr., his dad, he was at the end of his at the end. But nonetheless, shout out to Bronny. Secondly, I'm gonna give a homage to Anthony. Shout out to the new to the big purr to the Knicks. Karl Anthony Towns.
Okay. The big purr. The bodega. What did you call him? Bodega. What?
Bodega cat
Bodega.
or bodega purr, whatever the fuck it is. Josh Hart called him the big bodega. I was like, I feel like that one's gonna fit.
Anthony, you got anything?
I got one. My I'm him. I'm gonna give to Daniel Jones. I'm gonna give him the I'm him for this week. Going into one of the toughest places to play, and without your number one running back and your number one receiver, and
Oh, their number
gashing
one
that
running back.
Seahawks defense.
Their
Huh?
number one running back played. That's him. He's the
No,
number
it's-
one running back. Now he is.
Basically, going into a game where nobody expected them to even be competitive or even win that, and to just be as efficient as he was, I got to give him props for that. I got to give the Giants props for that too, for just coming in ready and doing what they did and whatnot, and keeping themselves alive. But it silenced the Danny Jones haters for a little bit, and he did what he needed to do. So I definitely he gets on him for me. I give him props for his performance.
Daniel Jones haters are like vilified Daniel Jones haters. Like he's bad. So all right, my turn. I'm him for this past week. Alex Pereira, UFC light heavyweight champion, beat the fucking dog shit. Fucking homeboy. Fun fact, he was winning that fight. Khalil Rountree was winning that fight, and he was throwing some shots at Pereira. I'm like, oh my god, he might actually win this. And then he started getting gassed.
Yep.
He gassed out, and then he just got the fucking shit kicked out of him. And it was a sight to see. I don't think I've remembered a time watching UFC fight, hearing the punches, and being like, oh, that sounds horrible. Like that sounds like that is a bad time like happening to Khalil Rountree right now. And when you look at the end of the fight, James said it the next morning, he goes, this is like some shit out of Fight Night Round 3.
And that's what it looked like.
And in real time, I'm watching this interview with him as like his brain starts falling out of his nose. I'm like, oh my God, somebody stop this. And he went out, like, I have so much respect for him for coming in there and trying to fucking stand and bang with Alex. And he like really went out on his shield, like trying to fight on it. Even with him just being wobbly, he still was throwing shit at Alex. But Alex was just like, Matrix, like I can see everything happening right now. Eat this fucking jab. Oh, here's this straight really quick. Oh, I'm gonna fucking elbow you in the head. Oh, here's the uppercut. Yeah, you're falling on the floor now. Alex Pereira. There's really nothing more for him at light heavyweight at this point. So you might as well just go up to heavyweight now because you struggle making weight at 205. You fucking monster of a human. Fucking Frankenstein. So shout out to him. Go be a 3-division champ because John's gonna retire after he beats Stipe.
He'll run away like a little bitch.
He's like gonna be 40, Mike. He's the greatest of all time.
He's still gonna be John. I mean, John is still gonna be him if he fights him after.
Then he's gonna run from Tom. He's gonna run from Aspinall.
Remember, I watched. Well, Aspinall. Aspinall's also not that good to beat John.
Yeah, but John's running from him.
John's not running. John's the greatest of all time. He doesn't need to do anything else.
Oh,
He really doesn't need to do anything else.
I've been so taken aback by Mike and his tone against John Jones because that used to be Mike's guy. I am taken aback.
That was always Chris's guy. I like John. I don't know. I've never had a problem with John. I just don't think John is the GOAT. So
Who's the GOAT?
Nobody has a resume like John. Nobody.
Who's the
and
GOAT?
Dylan and Dylan
Anderson
also.
Silva?
Yes.
No, he's lost.
Anderson Silva doesn't have a resume like John.
He's lost multiple times. Knocked out.
John's only loss shouldn't be a loss. It should be reversed. It should be a no contest. Because those 12-6 elbows are now legal.
They weren't at the time. But
that referee, they weren't even 12-6 elbows when he did them.
That referee didn't even warn or anything. So
exactly. So fuck that ref. Give John his loss back. He should be undefeated.
You can't give him the loss back, though.
Yes, you can. You can take it away.
Referee's decision stands.
You're a hater. So John lost not
Just-
because he lost.
Are you going to give Roy Jones his first loss back?
Different sport?
Exactly. John's not the GOAT. Exactly.
John
He
is the GOAT.
1000%
That
should get
right
his,
there.
his loss back.
If you're going to give Roy his loss back, then we can have a conversation.
Fine, give Roy his loss back.
Roy should 1000% get his loss back.
Because that was a
The problem is John didn't lose.
That's
the thing.
That is the standing thing.
John got called for 12-6 elbows that weren't 12-6 elbows. John was throwing diagonal elbows, and then the ref was like, "Hey, 12-6." Somebody should look at a fucking clock. Tell me where 12 and 6 are, you fucking dork.
Oh my god.
You see what you started, Mike.
My I'm him for this week. It's tough to not give it to that bad man Lamar Jackson. It's tough. It's tough. That guy is out here.
Give it to Burrow.
Yeah, I won't do that. Lamar, but as I do and as I will continue to do during these playoffs, my I'm hers for Sabrina Ennis because the Liberty are in the finals and Anthony's girl is home on the couch. James's girl, my girl 2 DJ, is now on the couch. But the libs stand. This is our year. She's gonna take us to the promised land. And I'm gonna be at the parade, the little banquet that they're gonna have when they win.
The little banquet. You ain't shit.
But yes, so I will give it to Sabrina. I will give an honorable mention to Lamar Jackson. And yeah, I don't have anybody else. So yep, that's it. Okay. Shout out to the Yankees. Shout out to the Dodgers who are absolutely beating the dog shit out of Padres. That's going to a game 5, which is great because we needed that series to go 5 because all the drama for that series.
We love when
All
teams
of
hate.
All
Hate.
the drama. All the drama. I wish the Dodgers were taunting them right now, but all the drama. Yeah, y'all can put those rally caps on. I don't think y'all scoring 8 runs in this inning. If y'all do something, if the Padres win this game, I'm picking them to win the World Series, even over the Yankees. I just give it to them right now.
Yeah.
Just give it to them right now. But it's not gonna happen. It's okay. It's not gonna happen.
Mike, you better
Yankees will
hope
get
that the
28.
baseball gods didn't just be like, Mike said what?
Quest for 28 continues. We will see you guys next week. Yeah, we'll see you next week. I don't know when I think the fantasy basketball draft's the week after. But regardless, from us to you, we will say adieu and good night.